Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here, and let us talk about the chat GPT over here. And I know that you are already familiar and most of you have been using it in your day-to-day life. And the chat GPT basically means a chat generative pre-trained transformer over here, and it is a conversational AI model developed by the OpenAI, and it is really powerful, and it has the ability to engage in interactive conversation. It can answer your question, provide the explanation, it can write a code for you, right? It can generate the image for you, and have a lot of other things that it can do for you. And the ChatGPT model are designed to be stimulate like the human-like conversation and provide a useful response based on the input they receive. So like you can provide any kind of the text, ask a question, and you can provide a description, and it can generate the image for you. So it's the things that the ChatGPT currently can do, and they have numerous benefit, and these models have they can be used on like something like the customer supports. You can have the chat bot, like you can have the language translation. You can create the unique images, and you can write a different kind of the blog, and you can write a different kind of the contents using the chat gpt. So we will be using the DALL-E 2 over here, and DALL-E 2 over here to generate the image for our application. We'll be using the Flutter to generate the image using the API, and we will be using a DALL-E 2 to connect to the API and generate the image based on the text or the description that we provide to it. So that's all, and let's meet up in the next lecture where we will learn about the DALL-E more. And till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here, and let us learn about the DALL-E before we get started with it. So you can just go and click on to this particular link over here, and it will take you to the DALL-E 2, which is an AI system that can create a realistic image and the art from a description in a natural language. So you can provide some description of the image, and based on that particular image it can provide the, or it can generate the image for you. And DALL-E is a artificial intelligence model, and it is also developed by the OpenAI, and it is a combination of the two concepts. One is of the DAL, which is of the drawing artificial intelligence language model, and E instance for the encoder, and it is designed to generate the image basically from the text or the description that you can provide. And the ability, it has the ability to generate the high resolution image. Currently I guess they have a 3 or 4 kind of the size of the image that you can provide, and based on that it will generate the image for you. And it can be a really powerful, like if you want to create some kind of the unique image based on the any kind of the description that you provide to it over here. And if you take a look below over here, let's go on to the here. So you can just provide some kind of the text input, and astronaut riding a horse in something over here. So you can just provide this particular description, and it can generate the different kind of the image over here. We will be using the Flutter, so we will be just passing a one image over here. So we will be requesting only one image, but you can actually request the list of the image or number of the image that you want it to generate for you. So if you say generate like a bird flying in the mountain where you have a snowfall, and it you can just pass in the parameter like just generate the one image, or you can generate a list of the image over here. So it's pretty cool, so where you can generate a different kind of the image, unique image that will be really useful for your content if you are using the some kind of the content creation, and it will be really helpful for you. So we'll be using this the layer 2 to create a different kind of the image using the text or the description. So let's get started on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So let us go and see how we can generate the API key over here. And for that, go to the openai.com over here and click on the sign up. So once you click on the sign up, and you need to sign up using your email, or you can use your like the social login like Google or the Microsoft. And once you sign up your account, you have to log into that particular account. So let's go and log in to this particular account, and it will take you to the platform that the openai.com/apps. So for that, let's select the API over here. And once you go to the API, what you have to do is you have to go on to the top over here and click on your the profile icon and click on the view API keys over here. And over here you will see that I have already created one API key, which is a test key, and this is the key. And this key is really the secretive, so you can't expose this key, so people may abuse your key, and it may reuse all of our credits. So make sure not to upload this key on your repository or any other place, or not to share it with your friends, because once you share it, it may get abused and you may get a lot of the bill, or if you have a credit card install, or if you have a credit card set up over here, it will reuse all of your credit. So make sure to not to share this particular key, and you can just create a new key and provide the key name and just generate the key over here. So this key is what we will be using later when we pass in, or when we are connecting to the API. So I guess that's all over here, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And let's go and create the a new Flutter project over here. And for that, let's go and add the command over here. So FLUTTR Flutter create, and we will be creating a new project that will be of the. I'll also use a -e that will give us an empty project. We don't want a counter app over here. And let's go and create the AI image generate generator. So we'll be creating a AI image generator over here, and also you can give the org or the organization. I will give them iu.the mobile academy mobile academy over here. And let's go and create this particular project over here. And once the project is generated, we can just go inside this particular. Let's use this particular command from here, and let's open up using the code dot, and that should open up in the VS Code over here. So now we have our empty project created, and if you go to the lib and if you go to the main, you will see this is an empty project without any of the counter app over here. And the next step is we need to add this particular dependency. So let's go over here, and we are on the SDK version which is a Dart SDK version 3.0.5 and less than the 4.0.0. and this is a AI image generator or yeah. So let's go and add the description, and generate generate image using the ChatGPT over here. Sorry, it should be of the chat and GPT over here, and we'll use the ChatGPT over here to generate the image over here. And I guess that should be fine over here, and we need to go and add the dependency over here. So let me go and add the required dependency, and I'll come back and explain to you all. And here we have added some dependencies. So if you go over here, we have added the Flutter report. We will be using a report over here, and we have added the report annotation if you want to generate some code over there. And we have the phrase annotation over here as well, and we have the JSON annotation, and then the multiple result, which is going to help us on the returning a multiple result like the success and the error. And we will be using a DU for our API calls, and we will also use the DUSTT formatter to format the request and the response. And we'll also use the retrofit over here, and with this retrofit we will do something similar to the Android and calling the API. It will be much easier when we use the retrofit over here. We can easily pass in the parameters and call into the path, and also provide the body, and all of the stuff is much more helpful to use the retrofit over here. And we will also use the env8. This is a new plugin over here. We will use it to generate the env files. This will be much more secure to use. So it has the option to secure our env files. And also we'll use the Isar DB over here, or the database over here. And we are not using the Hive over here, but we will be using the Isar over here. And this will provide us the local storage for us. And then we need to provide the path provider as well over here. And we are using the Jiffy over here for the date and time. So later you will be formatting date and time, and for that I'm using a Jiffy. And you can also use the Intel package over there, but Jiffy has some more extra things that we require, and later we'll see how we'll be using that. And also I'm using a flexi color scheme over here to generate the theme for our application. And the dev dependency, we have the Flutter lint, we have the build runner that we need to generate the code, and then the phrase to generate the phrase file. And then we have the report generator if you want to generate the code using the report. But I guess we will be not using it, but you can still keep it if you would like to generate the code instead of manually creating all of our providers. And we have the JSON serializable over here. Later we'll need to pass in to our the DTO, or the data transfer object. And this is for the env generator. Later it will help us to generate or secure our env files, and then the retrofit generator as well. And then we have the Isar generator that will be for our database. And we also have the custom link and for the report link over here. And with this report link we can have some cool extension later where we can convert easily and convert the widget to the consumer widget, as well as the consumer stateful widget over there. And we are going to use the material design, so we have to set it as a true over here. And if you go back to the analysis options over here, I have added the new analyzer, and we need to add in the plugin for the custom lint over here. This custom lint is for the report, which will give us some report warning. And then if you go to the exclude, I have excluded all of these files from here. And also if you go to the error, I will provide the invalid annotation target. Later when we have the DTO and when we anoint the JSON key, it will give us some warning. To avoid that one, I have used the invalid annotation target to ignore over here. So I guess that's the all thing that we have to do over here. And now if you go to the problems over here, you will see that we have one the problem that is coming from the custom lint or the report lint. Your Flutter application have the provider scope widget on the top of the tree. So this is a missing provider scope over here. So if you go over here, you can see that we can wrap this one now with the provider scope. So this is the quick fix that you get from the report linked over here. So you can just wrap it with the provided scope and just import the Flutter report package over here. You can just remove this one for now, and let's make this one as the const over here. So unst const. So now we have our application ready, so you should be able to run this one without any error. But you can just go and try to launch it, and on the next lecture we will go and see how we can set up our the features over here. So let's do that on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is, let us go and create our folder structure that we are going to use over here. So let's go to the lib over here and let's create the new folder. First of all, we'll create the common common folder over here, where we'll place all of our common use cases like the your reusable components and the widgets over here. And next is we'll create the score, and with this core folder we will add all of our like the database setups and the remote API setups, and all of those stuff will go inside the core. And let's have the new folder that will be of the features features, and in this features we will place all of our features. So currently we just have one feature that will be of the, let's say that is just as the image or the image generator or something. So let's just give it as a simple as the image over here. And with this particular feature we are going to have a different layer, so we will be following layer architecture over here. This course is not related to the clean architecture, so I'll be not explaining much of this stuff over here. If you are interested in learning the clean architecture and other stuff, I have the full course on that, so make sure to go and check out that one. So we'll have the data layer over here, and with this data layer we will be implementing all of our repositories and all of the stuff. And next we'll have the domain layer, and with this domain layer we'll place all of our models. And then the next we'll have the new folder over here that will be of the application over here. And this with this application we'll place all of our use cases over here. And finally we'll have the one more folder that will be of the presentation over here, presentation presentation over here. And with this presentation we are going to create some more folders over here that will be of the UI, and we will have the another folder that will be of the state, and we are going to have one more folder that will be of the controller over here. So we will have the controller, state, and the UI in our presentation layer. And with the application layer, currently we don't have much stuff. We'll just have one use case over here. We'll place it over here later. And then in the domain you can also add the models or the mappers and all of those stuff if you require, but we just have a simple requirement. We'll just have a one model over here later, and that will represent our UI. So we'll just place it over here. And in the data we are going to create some more folders over here. So that will be of the API. Sorry, it should be of the I need to rename this one as the API. So we will set up our API for this particular feature only. So feature image. So we have the setup for the API over here. And next we will require here the DTO or the data transfer object. That's simply the response and the request object that we are going to send to the API. And then we will have the one more folder that will be of the repository repository over here, where we'll place our repository over here. So this will be our all of the required folder structure for our features. And let's go back to the our core over here. And in the core we are going to add some more folders over here that will be of the env over here. And one is to store the env files, and next is we will have the local, where we will set up all of our local storage. And then we'll have the one more folder over here that will be of the remote over here, where we'll set up all of our remote or the API connection. And then we'll have the one more folder that will be of the theme. Currently we are going to set up later the theme for our application, so we will put inside this particular core folder over here. And once we have that, I guess that should be the one that we require currently. And let's go to the common over here, and in the common we are going to require some folders over here as well. So we'll have the exe exception, exception over here, and we'll place our exception file. And then we have the extends extension over here. Later we'll create some extensions, and then we'll have some more like mix and mixing, where we'll create a reusable component and place it over here. So I guess that's the folder structure. So common means that you can share it with the rest of the stuff like the features, so it's commonly used everywhere. And the core is that the core of your application, where you will be like your storage, local storage, remote setups, themes, translation, and all of those are the core of your application. So we'll put it inside the core. And in the features, we currently just have one features over here. And in the features we have the different layer. We are following the clean architecture with the separation of concern, with separating to a different layer. So we have the presentation, domain, data, and the application. And I guess that's all over here. And if you're interested more on the clean architecture, make sure to go and check out my another course regarding the clean architecture. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up with the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back. And let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is, let us go and create or generate our env files that we are going to require in our project. So let's go to the root of this particular project over here, and let's create the new file. And I'll call this one as the .env file over here. And let's create the base underscore URL that will be of the HTTPS. And then the I need the API dot the open.ai.com. So this will be our base URL that we are going to use. And then it may change in the future if the ChatGPT or the OpenAI change their base URL. So make sure to go and check out over there. And another one is I will require the open underscore API key. So here you need to provide your open API key that will be of the bearer, and then you need to provide your key something like the pk dash something over here. So this is the key that you need to get it from the your open API key over here. So I guess this will be something like the sk dash or something. So make sure to add the bearer token. So we need to provide this on the front, and then space and your token or the API key over here. And once you add that, make sure to go to the git ignore over here and exclude it from the git ignore or from the git. So once you push to the GitHub or any other repository, make sure to exclude that particular file, because that is the sensitive file. So if you expose that, you are going to have a lot of difficulties later. You may get a lot of the bill for your API. And to prevent that, you can just exclude it from your git ignore and add it over here as a asterisk.env file. And once you have done, we are good to go. And make sure not to expose this particular key. That's why we are using it as the env, and later we will obfuscate this particular key over here, so it will be harder for the people to extract that particular file. And it's not completely safe, not a bulletproof over here. Even the bulletproof get broken if it's continuously you sort to the same spot. So it's not a foolproof concept over here, but we will make it harder for the reverse engineer to break our application to find the keys over there. And once we have added, so let's just close all of this, and let's go back to the env over here, and let's generate the env.dot file over here. And with this env.dot file, we need to generate all of our env. So let's go and create the abstract, and also I can make use of the final keyword that's from the .3, and then the class over CLASS class over here, and env itself. And once we have that, so I guess I need to make this one as the abstract final class, because we are not going to inherit anything off from here. So I want to completely prevent the subtyping. That's why I'm using the final keyword over here. And now I can use the on the top of this, I need to use the add the envid, and I need to pass in the path, so I need to import that one over here. So let's go and import that manually over here. So env.env.dot file. So we are good to go. And then I need to provide the path over here. Path will be of the file that we have generated, that is of the .env file that we have over here. So path is over here. And next is that what we need is add the envid field over here. So we need to generate the field. So I need to provide the var name over here, and name in name, and that will be of the I need to provide the one is of the base URL that I guess I need to copy it from here. So make sure that the key match it over here. So this is the var name that we are going to use. And once we have that, I need a static const over here, and I need a static const of the type is of the string, and then the base URL over here. So that will be of the generated file of the env.the base URL as well. So once we have that, currently it's not generated, we need to generate. So let's copy the whole content from here and paste it below over here. And then next var name will be our open API key. Just copy this and paste it over here with the var name that is getting from this particular file, which is of the .env as well. So I need the const. I think I don't require a const because we need to generate the file. So I need a static final string that will be of the open API, let's say a key over here. And once we have that, this will be of the same that we want over here. And here we want to obfuscate this one, so I have the option to the obfuscate, and I will just set it to be true over here because I want to obfuscate this particular file. And that should be fine once we have that. And what we need to do is we need to generate this. So I need to go and run the Flutter pub run. So the build runner, right? So Flutter pub run build runner build-d. So just delete the existing. So I got some errors. So Flutter pub Flutter. Okay, so it's not the pun, so it should be of the Flutter pub, right? So that's funny. So Flutter pub run, and let's try to generate. Okay, so we haven't mentioned the part file, so that's going to give us the error. So let's go and generate the env.the file over here. And I guess we have to rerun the command over here again. And I guess we have some errors. So this is not the enc, sorry for that. So it should be of the env over here. That's why we are unable to generate. so env over here, and let's try to rerun the command, and let's try to generate that particular file. So now it's able to generate that file, and we are good to go over here. And it's saying that we can't find this particular file, so let's go and take a look. It's already there. So if you go over here, this is the class dot underscore env. We should be able to get that one. So let's go back over here, let's try to paste it over here. So it's the env, so env, and I guess we have the class name as the env, so it's not the right one. So it should be of the, I'm sorry for that, env. So it should be of the env over here, and let's try to regenerate that one over here. And now you can see we are good to go. So once we have this setup, let's go and create the new file over here, and let's go and create the new file that will be of the env.the reader. So this will be of env, not the env underscore reader dot the dot file. So this will be of our reader file. And also don't forget to add the dot the git git ignore, ignore, git ignore over here, and you want to ignore this particular file. So that will be of the, not the git and git git ignore, not the git ignore, but the env.the file. So you don't want to push that particular file, so it can be exposed your particular key, so you don't want to push that one. So env.the file, we don't want to push that one to the GitHub, so for the security reason. So once we have that, so we are good to go over here. And with this env reader, what we need to generate over here is the, let's create the final class over here, class class over here, and env reader over here. And now I can return type will be of a string, and get the base URL over here. And with this base URL, I just need to return from here the env dot the, I have not the env dot, I need to generate the base URL over here. And I guess I can't find that env over here, so env is this particular file. So let's go over here and let's try to add that one. So I guess we still have some error over here, so let's try to import that particular file, and just copy this one over here and just paste it below. And this will be of the get the open API key over here, right? So we need to get the open API key, so open API key as well over here. And then once we have done that, we are going to create the provider, so that's going to provide the env reader first. So later we are going to reuse it over here. So env reader provider, and I need to import the Flutter river pod over here, and then type will be of this particular file over here. And let's go and just create the constructor for our env reader file. So now we are good to go over here. Our env setup is completely done. We have the env file over here, and once we have done, we need to generate the env.the file, and make sure you generate the g.the file and place all of your variables or the var name that we have set up in the env file over here in this way. And make sure to obfuscate your open API key over here, and make sure this is not a bulletproof, and it's going to break, but it's harder for anybody to find it. So once we have done that, we need to generate a env reader file, and this will be a provider file that's going to provide some of the will expose us the function to get the base URL as well as the open API key. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back. And let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is we will go and set up our local DB using the Isar. So for that, let's go to the local over here and let's create the new folder. One is for the DB and one is for the, we need to create the table. So for that, enti, let's create the entity. So enti entity over here. And with this, let's go and create the new file. We need to create the table first, and for that, let's say this is of the image or something like, let's say image entity dot file over here. And once we have this particular file, let's go and we need our final class class over here. That will be the image entity over here. And with this, let's go and create the id, that is will be of the type will be id, and which is of equals to, what we need to do is from the Isar dot the, I need to import that particular package as well. So let's go on to the top and import the Isar file, and I need to generate the auto increment over here. So the id will be of the auto incremented itself, and then the type of this data type is coming from it's a type that it's coming from this package, which is of the Isar, so it's not from the dot. And then we have the string, and the string will be of the nullable type, and let's say we have the image. And next is we will have the string which is of the nullable type as well, that is of the date, date and time or something. So let's say date and time, and we will have the date and time as well, that will be of the time, let's say stamp timestamp that we are going to store it. So once we have this, let's go and we need to annotate this one, add the collection over here. So this is coming from the Isar package. So this is our entity or the collection. And once we have that, we also need a part file to generate the image enti and entity dot the g dot the dot file. So we need to generate the g dot the dot file, and I guess that should be fine. So let's go and generate the run the flutter pub run, and we are going to use the flutter pub run build underscore ru build runner, and then the build, that's the, and let's go and generate it. And once we have generated this particular file, let's go to the DB over here and let's create the new file that will be of a, let's say Isar underscore the DB over here dot the dot file over here. And let's go and create the final class over here. See class class over here, that will be the Isar DB over here, or you can give any name. And here we'll have the one function or the method that will return us the future, and the type is of the void, so it's just going to return the future of the void. And let's say open DB, so we are going to open a DB over here, and that will be of the asynchronous call over here. So async over here, and let's go and we need to create the final variable of, let's say dir, that will be of the directory, and we need to use the await get application. I guess we need to import this particular package over here. So the not the path, so I need to import, let's import the path over here. So I guess we have already added the path package, so path that the path, and get the application, so app lic application docum. I guess we don't have this, so let's try to import that correct package over here. Maybe not this one, so let's try to remove this one, and let's try to import the pats path. I guess it's the path provided, so let's import this one. So once we have that, let's go and call the get application. We require this get application document directory over here. So once we have that directory over here, we are good to go. So this will provide us the directory for our to store our local DB, that is of the Isar. And I'll go and check for the condition over here. If the Isar, let's say Isar over here, we require this one, Isar dot instance name dot is empty. So if, which means that if it is not open, so which basically means that if the instance name, a list of all the Isar instance open in the current isolate. So within this current isolate, if there is no instance name or there is an empty instance name, what we need to do is we go and open our Isar dot the open over here, and with this open we need to pass in the schemas as well as the directory over here. So let me try to arrange this one over here, and what we need is path is from the dir that we have dot the path, we'll get the path, and schemas is the list. So what we need to do is we need to provide the image entity that we have created previously. So I can just remove this particular file and let's just import this particular over here. So I guess we need to import that one over here. So image entity type can't be assigned to the list type collection of the time. So we have some error, I guess. Okay, so it's not the image entity, image entity, I guess we need to import the schema. So that is the one that we require, collection schema. That is from the if you go over here and you will get that over here. So this is the one that we require. So once we add that, we are good to go over here. And let's go on to the top, and we need to create the provider for this one. So how we are going to provide it. So let's go and create the final variable over here. So let's say Isar DB provider, or let's just go and generate the provider over here, and let's just copy this one, and then the we will have the Isar DB provider. Let's import this one over here, and we are going to return the Isar DB instance from here, and let's just return the instance of the Isar DB. So once we have that, we are good to go. And here next what we can do over here is we need to generate the provider as well over here. So for that, let's create the new file over here, and let's call this one Isar DB provider, or let's say Isar DB provider or Isar provider. So we need to provide that particular file, the Isar DB provider. We already have that, so let's have this one, and let's create the provider itself over here. That will be of the let's provide the Isar provider, and let's import the Flutter riverport package over here, and this is going to return us the Isar over here, and that will be of the nullable type. And from here we need to check some condition before we can return from here. So I'll just go and check for the condition to say the Isar dot the instance name dot is not empty. So we need to check if the file or the Isar DB collection is already open. So we'll return the Isar Isar that we require dot get the instance over here. So this will return us the instance of the Isar. So if we click return an Isar instance open in the current isolate by its name. So if no name is provided, the default is used. So we haven't provided previously the name, so let's just use the default, and if not, we'll just return the null from here. So I guess that will be good enough for our setup the Isar DB. And what we need to do is we need to go to the main.dart file, and whenever our application is running, we need to open up that particular database. So for that, what we need to do is we need to make this one as the async over here, our main method over here, and let's go and create the we need a widget binding widget flutter binding dot the ensure the initialize, because we are going to call the native function while we using the Isar. So make sure you have to initialize the flutter widget binding over here. So once we have set up this one, what we need is, let's go and create the riverpod container, CONTAINER container, that will be of equals to the provider container. So we require a provider container over here to call our the DB. So we need to open it before we run our application. Our database must be ready. So for that, what we have to do is final DB. We need to read the container.the_read. So we are going to read our database instance, that is of the Isar DB provider that we have, and we need to open our DB. So db.the_open over here, the open DB over here, and this will be on the asynchronous call over here, await, and we need to open that one as well. And in this way, now our we are going to use the provider container to read our provider, and we are going to open the database before we run our particularly the widget or the run app over here. So let me try to arrange this one properly over here. So let's try to open it over here, and with this provider scope, there is the provider container as a parent. So what we can also do is, you can use the parent over here, so parent, and we'll just pass in the container over here. So that's going to pass in the container. So we have some errors, so let's try to invalid const. So we can't use the const over here, so I have to use the const over here. So now we have provided the container to our provider scope. So this should go and run this particular command before opening our main app. So by the time the main app or our application is launched, which is of this main widget over here, our database should be open and ready to use over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we are going to meet up in the next lecture, where we are going to set up, I guess, the remote API. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, let us go and set up our remote connection, or we will be setting up our DO over here. For that, let's go to the remote and let's create the new file. So we will require two files. One is a network, so net to work a network SCRVI network service. I guess we'll require an interceptor first of all, interceptor interceptor dot file, and just copy this one, and let's create the one more new file that will be of the network service itself. So just remove the interceptor. So let's create the two file. So first of all, let's go to the interceptor over here, and let's create the finals class over here. That will be of the net to network SCRPS service, interceptor interceptor over here. That's going to extend from the intr interceptor. So currently we can't find that, so let's go and import it through our, let's see, a DO over here. So DIOD over here. So that should be of the DO.the and it should be of the intr interceptor over here. And once we have that, let's go and have the constructor for our this. We are going to pass in the sub value to the constructor over here later on, and I will require the let's set it on to the top over here. That will be of the final. I will require a string of the token, or the bearer token over here, and let's go and say that we require that one. So that will be of the required this dot the bearer token over here. And once we have the constructor ready over here, what we are going to override is the on request over here. So whenever we are sending a request, what we want to do is we want to send the header and send the header over here. So once we have this, what we'll do over here is let's pass in the options. dot the headers, and in the headers I need to pass in the let's say ACCEPT accept. And what we are going to accept is currently we are just going to accept only the JSON, so that will be of the application slash the JSON over here. So we are going to accept the this particular JSON file only, and then the next is we are going to pass in the headers, and that will be of the authorization. So AUTHORIZATION authorization, and then the authorization will be our bearer token that we are going to pass in over here. So this is the two current header that we are going to pass in, and I guess we should be good with that. So I guess there is some error over here, and let's try to see what is the error. So at override, so this is giving us the error, and let us see what is the error. So lint. So let's try to fix this error, and it should be because of this one, so we forgot to close it over here. So that's cool. So we have the network interceptor ready, and the next is we need to set up our network service itself. For that, let's go over here, and what we'll do is we'll create the provider itself. So we are going to create the provider directly. That will be of the NET-WO. You can give it any name, but let's say NET-WO network SCR network service provider. And we need to import the Flutter river pod over here, and that's going to return us the DO over here. So let's say provided that the return the type is of the DO itself. And now let's go and return some value over here. Currently, let's go and create the, first of all, we'll require the final env. So we require the base URL as well as the encryption or the authentication key over here. So we need to read the env provider previously we have set up. So env, so ref dot the env, I guess ref dot the watch over here, and that will be of the env reader provider that we have. So this will give us the env from which we can easily get access to our base URL as well as the authentication token. So another thing is that we'll set up the final option OPTIONS options. That will be of the base options from the DO itself. So we need to pass in the base URL. So it will be from the env.the get the base URL. So we are going to get the base URL from env file, and we can set up the connection timeout. That will be of the const of the duration itself, and let's say a second. We'll just give it to be a 60-second, or that is of the 1 minute as well. So let's try to have this two more time. That is of the send timeout as well as the receive timeout over here. So we'll set up to that, and once we have that, let's close this one over here. And finally, we will go and create the DO instance. That will be of the DO itself, and we are going to provide the I guess we'll go and provide the options over here, and then we will just go and use the interceptor. So let's go and dot interceptors dot add to the, also we have a 2, so let's go and add the both of those over here. So that will be of the list. So we are going to provide the HTTP formatter over here. That is also going to come, I guess we need to import that. So let's import that. That will be of the HTTP underscore the formatter, I guess. So that will be of the HTTP DO formatter. So HTTP DO HTTP formatter itself, and then the next is the network service interceptor, and then the bearer token will be from the env that we have dot the get the open API key. So we'll just pass in over there. So I guess that should be the one, and we from here finally we just have to return the DO itself. So now our network service, which is the instance of the DO, and we have already set up our base URL, and we have the option setups, we have the interceptor setups. So now we are good to go over here. So now we have set up the token, as well as we have set up the all of the required field over here. So now we can use this one to call our network APIs. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back. And let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the material trim over here, and we'll be using a package that is coming from the flex color scheme. So you can just go and check out the pub.dev and the flex color scheme. You can go and read the documentation, because I'm not going to cover the all of these flex them scheme over here, because it's a very large topic, and I can create a whole new lesson or whole new topic or the course on the flex color scheme. So make sure to go and check out this particular package. It has the really useful things that you can do. They also provide the playground where you can actually customize or create your own material theme. So make sure to go and check out that. And for us, let's go back to our main.dart file. And our first thing is that I will use the debug banner. So let's say the debug banner, that I will set it to the false over here, because we are not going to show that anyhow. And the next is we need to set the theme. And first one will be of the light theme. So for that we'll be using the flex flex theme and flex theme data dot the light, and I can provide the scheme over here that will be of the color scheme. So let's try to arrange that one over here, and that will be, we are going to get it from the default predefined theme. So flex flex, I guess flex flex, then the flex scheme. That will be of the, you can choose the lot of the pre-built theme for you. So let's go and select any one from there. So let's go and say I'll just choose a red one over here, in case we don't have to provide the const over here. So let's move it down over here, and let's try to arrange this one properly over here. And also you can add the pass in the rest of the parameters that we require, but we are just interested on use the material tree, that we will set it to true. By default is false, as well as the use the material tree color to be of the true, because we are going to make use of the material tree design over here. So this is a pre-built theme, and they already have around 52 or something pre-built theme at the time of recording, but this may change, or they may add more on the coming up years or the months. Previously they were supported a less number of the theme, but now they have added much more. So they are continuously adding a new theme. So you can either use the pre-built, or if you want to customize, make sure to go and check out the documentation, and they provide the playground where you can customize the theme. But for us, we'll use the pre-built. We are not building any of the large application over here where we require a custom theme over here. And also I'll provide the dark theme over here, and for the dark theme I'll just copy the same code from here, and instead of providing the light, I just provide the dark, and it takes the same parameter. We just need to provide the color scheme over here, and then the material tree of the true, as well as the use the material tree error color to be true over here. And let's set the current theme mode over here. So that will be of the theme mode dot the, let's say you can start with the light, and other you can also create the option to user to toggle that particular current theme, but let's just set it to default to the light over here, and let's run our application. And you can see that we get this particular UI, but currently we don't have any of the buttons, cards, or the list view, any of this stuff over here. That's why it just looks a plain over here, just a white screen. But we have successfully set up the theme over here. So if we go and change it to the dark over here, that should change that UI to the dark mode as well. So if you go over here, you can see we got a pretty cool dark looking theme over here as well. So it's in a few steps. You can see we have added the material theme, which is supported with the material tree design as well. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step is, let us go to our features over here, and we have the image feature over here, and we will go to the data layer over here, and from here we'll start off from the top to the bottom. So we'll go from data, domain, application, and to the presentation over here. So first of all, let's go to the DTO, or we will require the data transfer object. So if you go to the API call over here, and once you try to call the open API, v1 image generations over here, and we need to send some prompts over here, or we need to send a post request with this particular properties. So one will be of the prompt and the number of image that you want to generate, as well as the size and the response format. So in the response format, you can either get the URL or the base64 version. So the prompt will be something like FLOW flower with SNOW snow okay, so let's say a flower with a snow, and then the number, and then the size, and then the response format. So once you try to send this one over here, you should get back the response from the API over here. So here you will see that we got the created, which is of the Unix timestamp, as well as the data, which is the list, and here we get the base64 JSON, and this is the data that we need to use to generate the image. Or you can also get the pass in the URL over here in the body prompt to get the response tab as the URL, but we will be using a base64, so later we can store back to the our local DB and get that from the DB as well. So let's copy this one from here, and what we'll do is we'll go to the QuickType.io over here. So let me open up the web page over here, and I'll go to the QuickType.io over here, and let's go to the open the QuickType over here, and let's try to paste that particular data over here. And once we paste that data, this is the response that we are going to get over here. Sorry, this is not the response. What we need to get is just copy this particular response from here. So sorry for that. Let me grab this one from here. We will copy the whole response from here, and let's go back over here, and let's try to paste in over here. And I guess we did not copy that one properly over here, so let's just copy this content and let's try to paste it over here. So once we paste it over here, we are good to go. So let's change the name over here. So you can just say that this is image image, or we can just say image image RESPONSC response over here. And let's open the option over here, and let's select the dart from here, and I'll just select the null safety, and also let's go to the other and generate the class definition with the freezed capability, because we'll be using a freezed annotation over here. And then rest of the thing, I think we are good with that over here. So let's go and copy this particular content from here. Let's copy this one from here, and let's go back to our project over here. So let me just close this one over here, and let's go to over here, and let's create a new file, and it will be of the image image RESPONSC response. It will be of the RESPONSC response.the dart file, and let's paste that particular content over here. And I guess we don't require this one over here, as well as we are not going to use that one over there as well. So let's give a proper naming over here. The naming may not be a good one over here, so let me try to give a proper name over here. And now over here I have changed that one to the image response over here, and we can get the int as a created date and list of the image response data, which is of the type is of the data. With here we get the image response data, and we require the base 64, and this will be of the JSON key that will be of the base 64 underscore the JSON. So that is what we are getting over here. So we require this one, so we need to pass it over here. So once we have this one, what we need to do is we need to generate this particular code. So let's run the FLU, let's run the FLU TTR Flutter, and that will be of the Flutter pub run build run build runner build build, sorry, build build, that's the D over here. So let's try to generate the code over here, and finally we were able to generate this particular file, which is of the image response.freeze as well as the g.dart file over here. So we have these two particular file, so we were able to generate that one. So that's all for the DTO, and the next is we need to create the API, and for that we'll be using the retrofit over here. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step is, let us go to our API over here, and let's create the new file that will be of the image API as service.the.dart file. So with this, what we need to do is we need to create the abstract over here, abstract class over here, and that will be of the image API SCR service over here. So once we have this, what we can do is we can go and create the factory constructor over here that will be of the image API service as well. And here we are going to take the DO as the parameter. So let's go and have the DO over here, and let's import the DO over here. And once we are done, we are going to return from here the image underscore the image API service and pass in the DO over here. So we are good with that. And next is we need to create the, let's go and annotate this one with the, put the annotation of the REST API over here, and that will be from the import from the retrofit over here. So let's go and import the retrofit over here, and this will be after we need to pass in the constructor over here. So this is coming from the retrofit over here, so we are going to use the DO with the retrofit to make a API call over here. So first thing is we require a post request over here, and then if you take a look on the path over here, you can just copy this particular path from here. Just copy the path from here to the here, and let's go back over here and let's paste it over here, v1/v1 images and then the generation. So this is the post request that we need to send, and we are going to return a future of our image response that we have. We are going to return that one, and we'll just say GNER generate the image over here. So GNERT generate image over here, and we need to pass in add a body over here. So the body will be the type of the map, and this will be of the string, and then the dynamic over here, and we will make this one as the body itself over here. So I guess that should be fine. So what we have created now is we have created the abstract class of image API service, and then we have the factory constructor which requires the DO as the constructor params over here. And this will return us this particular class which we need to generate. So let's go and put in the part file because we need to generate the code over here. So that will be of the image underscore API servi service.g.d file. So we need to generate this particular file over here. And then we have one function which is of the type is of the post request. This will return as the future of the image response, and we need to pass in the body, which is the type of the map over here. And once we have done this, let's go and generate the let's run the flutter build command, flutter pub run, and then the build underscore runner build, right, build build dash dt. So let's try to generate the code over here. And once the code is generated, we are good to go. So the next step is we need to create the provider to provide this particular class. So we need to provide this one. For that, let's go and create the image API service provider over here, and we need to import the Flutter report as well, and we need to return this particular class from here, which is of the image API service. And now if you take a look, we require the DO over here. So how we can get a DO is final. We require a DO is ref.the-watch, and we need to watch the we have the network service provider that provides us the DO instance. So if you go to the network service provider, this is what we have created previously, and it is returning us the instance of the DO. So once we got that DO, we'll just pass in the DO over here, and we are good to go. So that should be fine, and we have the abstract class of the image API service as well as the provider for this image API service. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step is let us go to our repository over here, and let's create the two new file over here. One will be of the image image, and that will be of the repository image repository dot file over here. And let's copy this one, and let's create the another new file over here, and that will be of the image repository itself. So one will be of the interface, and one will be of the implementation of that particular interface or the concrete class. So let's go to the interface over here, and let's create the interface over here. So abstract intr interface over here, and that will be of the CLASS class over here, and let's give a image repository repository over here. So naming can be anything, but I would like to annotate with the I as the prefix over here, so we know that this is of the interface over here. But you can use your own prefix or the naming convention over here. And then we require the few function over here. So one will be of the future that we are going to return from here, and that will be of the image response from here. And then we will say this is of the generate the image over here, and we just need to pass in the map, and that will be of the type of the string, and then the dynamic over here, that will be of the body itself. So this is what we have created the function in the API as well. So this will be of the image response over here, and let's go down and let's create the another function that will be of the future. What we require is we return from here is the int and the nullable type, and we'll write this one. Let's say we want to write it to our Isar database over here. So let's say writ write, and that will be to the DB over here. So we are going to write to the DB, and then the we will pass in the value over here. So what we will be passing is the image data, or you can just make it this one as the type of the generic over here, so we can pass in the any kind of the data. So type T of the value itself, and we'll create the one more function to read the stream. So let's say we will return the stream stream from here. That will be of the whenever we insert a new record to our Isar DB, we want to listen to that particular inserted data and update our UI. So let's say we have the list and we'll return the image. Okay, so from here we haven't created that particular image entity. I guess if you go to the let's go to the core over here, local. Okay, so we have the image entity over here. So let's return the list from here, and this will return us the image entity that we have. So let's close this one over here, and this will be of the nullable type as well. And we'll just say that the read the image, right, or listen to image entity. So list and listen imag listen image over here, or the enti dy entity over here. So this will be three function that we require over here, and once we have this function, what we need to do is we need to implement it. So let's go back to our image repository, and let's create we'll create this one as the final class over here, class class over here. That will be of the imag image repository our repository over here, and this is going to implement the image repository as well. So we have the interface over here, we need to implement that one. So let's override the three function that we have created in our interface over here. Let's try to go to the constructor. First of all, we'll require over here. So what we require is we will require we have some dependency over here that is of the type of the Isar DB. So we need to write it to the DB, as well as we need to call the API. So we require the image API service as well. So for that, let's create the final variable of the image API service over here, and that will be of the image API service itself. And also I require the final variable of the Isar DB, and this will be of the nullable type. So let's say this is of the Isar as well. And here we are going to create the constructor for the image repository itself. And what we need to do is, so let's go and pass in over here. Let me close it over here. And here what we need to do is, let's create the required variable over here. So our required, and what we require is the image API service as the image API service, and another one is we also require the Isar over here, and can be of the nullable type of the Isar over here, and we are good to go. So after that, we will have to initialize with our local variable, which is of the image API service, and then we have the another one which is of the it's of the Isar, right, and it's will be of equals to the Isar that we are getting in. And what I will try to do over here is, for the generate image, what we need to do is we need to call the API. So let's go and have the try catch block over here. We need to catch the error, so try, and let's generate the try catch block over here. So here I will go and catch the on DO error over here. Let's go and catch the DO exception. I guess we have the DO error. So let us see what we have. So we got the DO exception, it implements the exception. So once we have that, let's go and inside over here, and final I need to get the response from the API. So I have to make this one as the async over here, because I need to make a async call. So I need to wait, and that will be of the image API service dot the generate the image, and I need to pass in the body over here. And once I have the body, I can just return from here the response itself. And once we had done, so once over here, we are going to return some error over here. And for now, just keep it as it is, or you can just go and read through the same error over here. And later we'll see how we can provide a different error message over here, but for now let's just keep it simple, and later on the section of handling the exception, we are going to cover that particular topic. For now, just keep it as simple as possible. And next is that we need to read it from our entity. So listen to the change, right? So what we need to do is we need to return a list of the stream over here. So for that, let's go and have the try catch over here. Let's go and use the try catch over here, and I'll just catch the on Isar error over here, and we are going to catch some exception over here as well. So let's go inside over here. I guess we need to arrange this one properly over here, and here we are going to get the final final final, and then the result result, that will be of the I need to get the Isar over here, and then it can be of a nullable type, so I need to check the image entities, entitys entities dot. I will use a where condition to filter the record, so I can sort it out. So I will just sort, and the sort dot the descending is not the dot, it should be of the sort dot the descending. So let's try to sort it, and I need to make this one as the any ID over here. So if you don't provide this any ID, this is not going to return any sorted order. So that's the issue over here. And if you go and read the if you go and check on the GitHub repo, you still find this particular error over here. But if you don't provide it, you will not get any sorted order. But if you provide any ID, you are going to get the sorted order. I'm not sure what is the issue with this one, so make sure to go and check off the GitHub repo of the Isar, and you will find that particular issue. I hope they will solve that particular issue once you watch this particular video over here. So here we can we need to pass in the boolean fire immediately, so you can pass in that particular value over here. So I'm not going to explain much of the stuff over here because this is not the course related to the Isar or something. So if you go and pass it through over here, so you can see that the create let's go and say, let's go to the watcher, create a watcher that yields the result of the query whenever it returns the potential change. So whenever there is a new change on the entity or the DB, so we are going to yield that one. So every time there is a new record inserted, so later when we insert a new image to the DB, we want to get it back immediately. And you can just go and read. So fire immediately is true. These results will be sent to the consumer immediately. So if you want to send the result immediately to the consumer, then we have to use the fire immediately as a true over here. So that should be fine. And let's go down over here, and what we need to do over here is I've checked for the condition over here. So if you take a look over here, this result can be of the null. So we'll just go and say that if the result is not equals to the null over here, because we want to check the null, then we are going to yield over here. So for this one, I need to make this one async over here with the asterisk, because we are using the stream over here, yield with the asterisk sign over here. And once we are done with that, we are going to return the result over here. So this is the stream of the list of the image entity. So I guess that should be fine with this. And once we are done over here on the error, what we are going to do is, for now, we are just going to read through over here, and later we'll cover this particular topic. And let's go down over here. What we need is, I guess we can just go and have this one sorted out properly over here, and I guess that should be fine over here, and that should be good enough. So let's go over here and to the right. So we need to write it to the DB. So how we are going to write to the DBs, we need to write to the Isar DB. So for that, let's go and have the try catch block itself over here, and here I also need to cast the on the Isar error over here, and we are going to catch both the exception as well as the socket exception. For now, just read through it from here, and inside this try catch block, what we are going to do is we are going to use the await. For that, I need to make this one as the async value over here, and here what I need to do is I'm going to grab the Isar instance over here. If it's not null, then I'm going to write the txn, and with this I need to go and say this one is a type of the async over here, because we need to perform the asynchronous type. So it will return us the some ID. So for that, let's go and create the final, and I guess we will just make this one as an int nullable type of the ID. So I guess this will return us the ID over here. So ID will be of equals to the await and underscore the Isar that we have the instance over here, and then the dot the I need to check the nullable type, and this will be of the image entities over here. Dot I can put the value over here. So with this put the value, I am going to put the value that we have over here, and let's go and close it over here. So we are getting some error. Type T can't be assigned, so this one should be of the entity. So what we need to do is ask the image entity over here, because that is what we are going to insert it. So that's why we have to cast it to the image entity. And once we have this, let's close it over here, and finally from here we can return the ID that we are getting over here. So once we return it, it's going to return us the future of the int, and we capture that one over here with to our value over here, and then finally we return it from here. So that should be cool enough. So we have the three function overwritten, and I guess we have successfully implemented. So one is to generate the image. We are going to call the API, and then the rest of two is one is to return the stream of the list of the image entity. This is the whenever we insert a record to the our Isar DB, we want to watch that one continuously, and then we are going to write or save the record to back to our Isar DB as well. So let's go on to the top over here, and what I need is I need to generate the provider for this one. So let's go and create the provider that will be of the image repository provider itself. And for that, I'm going to import the Flutter river pod, and let's have the return type will be of the image. We are not going to return the provider type is not the concrete class, but we are providing the interface over here. So make sure you don't provide the concrete class over here. Otherwise, later once you want to replace it over here with the another class over here, you have to come and change there again. So this is the power of the dependency inversion control. Or if you are familiar with the solid principle, then you should already know that we need to rely on the abstraction rather than the concrete class, or the principle of the DIP, or dependency inversion principle. And here what we are going to do is we need to provide the final, and that is of what we require is the image. Okay, so let's copy this one, and let's copy this one, I guess. So let's copy this one over here. That will be of equals to the ref.the_watch, and we already have the image API service provider that is going to provide us the particular image API service, as well as we have the Isar. So just copy this one, and here the final, I need to grab the Isar over here. That will be of the ref.the_watch itself, and I need a Isar Isar provider. So that is what we are going to grab it. So we have already created this one on our previous lesson. So let's go and pass in this particular, we are going to pass in the image API service will be of the image API service, and then the Isar will be of the Isar itself. So I guess that should be fine. Now we have the provider itself, which is going to provide us the image repository, the concrete class, and the type will be of the interface. And if you are not familiar with the solid principle, make sure to check out my course. I also have the free course on the YouTube, or you can also purchase my course on my website as well. So that's all for this lesson, and hope you got the concept over here. It was pretty long lecture, but we covered a lot of this stuff over here. So let's meet up on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is, let us go and handle the exception over here in our repository over here. So previously we just throw the error from our try catch block, but what we would like to do over here is we would like to catch this particular error, and we would like to throw the exception from here. So for that, what we'll do is we'll go and create the new file inside the common and in the exception, and let's create the new file, and you can call this one as the give the any naming convention, but I will prefer to have the failure dot file, and I'll create the final class, aliases class of the, let's say, failure, and it's going to implement from the abstract class of the exception exception. And once we have that, if you go and take a look, this exception is the abstract interface class, which means this is a pure interface that we cannot go and instantiate, and we can only implement, and we can't go and have the extends from here. So we need to go and have the implementation of the exception. This is the abstract interface over here, which is from the .3 over here. And once we have that, let's go and create some members over here. So that will be of the final. First thing is we'll require the string, and that will be of the message over here. And second thing is we'll require the int, and it can be of the nullable type. Let's say statu status code over here. And another thing we'll require over here is the exception, and that will be itself of the nullable type. And then we will also require the final stack trace over here, and that will be of the stack trace as well. And once we have all of this, let's go and create the constructor for this one. So for that, let's go and create the constructor. So failure, and let's go and have the first one will be the required one will be the this.the message. We don't want to have the nullable message over here. And second is this.the status code, that we can have the nullable type. This.the exception is also of the nullable type. This.the stack trace, we will set it to the default value of the stack trace. I think stack trace over here, stack trace dot the empty. So we'll create the empty stack trace, and once we have all of this, I guess we are good to go over here. Let me close this one. I guess we have some error over here, And the next thing is that we can also add the we can override the toString as well as the equals operator over here. And for that, instead of manually creating it, I think we can remove this final over here, and then I will just go and generate the toString over here, and also I'll go and generate the equality operator over here. And now you can see that it has generated the hash code as well as the equal to operator and also the toString over here. And now I can just go and make this one as the final again, and we are good to go. So once we have this particular failure class, we can go back to our image repository over here, and let's go on to the top over here. So let's go on to the top over here on the DA exception. So from the repository, what we want to go over here is, let's remove this one over here, and what we want to do is we want to throw from here the FAI failure that we have just created, and the message will be of the response. Okay, so we don't have E. What we need to do is we need to have this one as the error or the exception or the E. So let's say will not return the message, will return from the response data over here. And in the data we can have the, let's say, message. So you need to actually check the written response of the error, and we need to match this one over here. But currently let's just assume that the response.the data has the message, and then we are extracting that one. And if it is a null, then we'll just go and say that something wrong over here, and I guess that should be fine over here. So let me try to arrange a bit over here, and let's close this one over here. And it looks like there is some error, so this one can be of the nullable type, and we are good to go. So if it is of the null, then we can also add something went wrong, and you can also try to add in some exception over here that will be of the, let's try to get it from the error over here. So we can also catch that particular error over here, and then also you can also add some different message over here. So that will be of the response, and we can get the, I guess we want to get the status code over here, and this can be of the null, so we want to check the nullable type, and I guess we are good to go with this one. So let's try to arrange this one properly over here, and let's try to bring this one down over here, I guess. So let's try to arrange this one properly over here, and we are good to go. So let's try to close this one as well. So the next thing is let's try to go down over here, and that will be of the on here. So we also need to catch it over here. So let's go and throw from here. So we want to throw the failure again from here, and then the message will be of the the message as well over here. Or you can catch some different error over here. Currently we only have the message over here, and then you can also go and catch the stack trace that we have is the S over here. And let's copy the same code from here, and let's go down over here, and we'll just return from here. So throw the failure with the message is either the message, and then the stack trace or as the S over here. So that should be good. And now we have successfully implemented the exception handling in our repository over here. So we are creating a custom failure object over here and returning that one. So later it will be easier for us to catch this particular error in our application layer. So let's meet up in the next lecture where we will be covering the application layer. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And before we move on to the application layer, we need to create the model, or we need to work with the domain layer. So let's go and create the new file over here, and that will be of the image underscore model dot the dot file. So this will be of the image model dot the dot file, and let's go and create the class over here that will be of the image model over here. And we are going to use the phrase over here to generate the data class. So for that, we'll use the width over here and underscore dollar the image model as well. So we'll have the factory constructor over here for the image model as well. And let's go and add the members over here, and that will be of the required. And first one is UI, and I guess we require the unit at list over here, and that will be of the image itself, because that is what we are going to convert it later to store it to the database for our image. So later we can easily add, so in the UI with the image view. So once we have that, so let's go and add in the required over here, and that will be of the string. We will require the date and time as well, and we'll also require the another thing that will be of the string, and then the time. I think we can require the time, lapse, the time lapsed or elapsed or something, or else you can also add something like the currently I guess we only have this required field in our word DB, so we will be using that one as well. And from here we'll just go and return the image model model over here, and let's go and have the FREZED freezed annotation over here. Okay, so it should be FREZED freezed annotation, and we are good to go. So now we need to generate this file. So for that, I need to put it as the part of the image underscore model.freeze.the file. So once we have this, we can go and generate the code. For that, let's go and run the Flutter. So let's go and set up the FLUTTR Flutter pub run build, and that will be of the build runner build dash the d. So let's go and generate this particular file. And now once the freeze class is generated, we are good to go. So now we have the data class that we will be using on our application layer. So let's meet up on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step is, let us go and create the extension that we are going to require over here in our application layer. So for that, let's go to the extension, and I'll go and create the new file, or that will be of the int to the date and time over here dot file over here. And then we'll also have the another extension that will be from the DAT date and time formatter over here dot file. So let's go and create the first of all the int to date and time over here. We need to convert the Unix timestamp to the date and time over here, and let's have the extension over here, and that will be of the int to the date and time over here, and we will require on int over here. And once we have that, let's go and have the return type will be date and time over here to date and date and time over here. And let's go and return from here. We are going to return the date and time. Now the date and time dot the from the I guess we'll use the millisecond over here. So let's use the millisecond over here, and the millisecond, let's try to go, that will be of the time that we are passing in dot the we need to multiply it by the 1000, and also the each UTC, let's set it to be true. I guess by default that one is of the false over here, so we'll just try it to set it to the true over here. And this is the int to the date and time, and to date and time. Once we have the integer value, now we can use the to date and time over here to convert it to date and time. And then let's go and have the date and time formatter over here. So for that, we'll create the extension as well, and that will be of the date and time formatter formatter on the date and time over here. And here we'll return the string type from our to date, date and time, right? And to date and time string, I guess we can just give a proper naming convention that you think is better for your project, but I'll just give it as a to date and time string over here. And we'll use the gify over here. I guess we need to in giffy dot. Okay, so we don't have that, so let's go and import on the top over here. That will giff gify package over here. So we have already added in our publicspec.yaml file over here. So if you take a look, we have already added over there. And now once we have that, let's go and add the parse from the date and time. So we can parse it from the date and time, and then date and time will be of the this is the current date and time over here. And then we can just go and dot the format it, and the format pattern we need to provide it, and that will be of the, you can provide any date and time pattern, but let's give as the day, and then the month, and then the year. I guess we will require a 4, and then we have the time as well, hour and the minute as well, and then the AM and the PM as well. So that should be good enough. So we have two extension. One is to format date and time, so we need to we can convert the current date and time and create the string out of it. So this will give us in this particular format over here. And also on the integer, we have an extension to convert the current into the date and time as well. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So finally we are going to work with our application layer, and for that we need to create the two file over here. One is the interface, so image servi service.d dot file, and we require the another one, so let's go and create the new file that will be of the image service, which will be of the concrete class. So first of all, let's go to the interface over here, and we need abstract interface over here, abstract interface class over here. That will be of the image servi service over here, and this will be our core business logic we are going to implement in our image service. So for that we require few of the method or the function over here. First one will be of the future that we are going to return from here, and we are going to return a result, result from here, and that will be of the one will be of the, I need to close it over here as well. So first one will be of the success, so that will be of the image model that we previously created, and second one will be the error case, that will be FAI, failure is the one. And let's go and have this one as the GENERAT, generate the image, and here we need to pass in the map over here. That will be of the map will be of the type of the string, comma the dynamic over here, that will be of the body itself. And let's go and close it over here, and now we need to import this particular result set over here. And for that, let's go on to the top over here, multiple result set. And if you go to the pubspec.yaml file over here, we have included over here multiple result sets. So this plugin will help us to return the two kind of the object from here. One is the success will be of the image model if there is a success, and if there is a failure, then error or the exception, we are going to throw a failure that is of the object class that we have previously created. So this is one of the function that we require. And another one is to insert, right? So that will be of the future as well. So from here we are going to return the int type, and it can be of the nullable, and that will be of the writ right to db or any proper name that you want to give over here. And we will pass in the type as the t over here, and then the value of the t as the value itself. So we can just pass in the generic type over here. And then the next will be of the future. I guess not the future, we'll require the stream stream over here, because we are returning the stream from our repository when we are reading the image. So if you take a look on the domain layer, and if you go to the repository, and if you go and take a look, I guess on this one, you can see we are returning the stream or the list of the image entity over here. So just copy the function name, and what we require over here is just pass it over here, and this will be of the, it will return as the list of the image model itself. So we need to return the list of the image model from here, and the function name will be the listen image entity as well. So this is the three functions that we require currently. And once we go back to the image service, let's go and create the class over here, or we'll make this one as the final class over here, class class of the image SRV service, and that's going to implement from our image service over here, which is of the pure interface. Now we need to go and override the three function or the method that we created. And this one should be of the, let's remove this one from here, and we need to import the proper one that will be of the multiple result set over here. And let's clear this particular all of this to do from here. And then the let's go on to the top over here, and final we require the image repository over here, that will be of the image repository over here. So that is the, we depend on the interface over here, or the abstraction over here, not the concrete class. So this is another solid principle. So if you are not familiar with the solid principle, make sure to go and check out my YouTube video, as well as if you need a course, I have a course on my website. And let's just have the constructor for this one, that will be of the image service over here. And here we can just go and pass in the image repository over here. And if you don't want to have the public variable over here, or the member, if you want to create as the private one, then what you have to do is, let's go and set this one as the required over here, and that will be of the image repository over here, and that will be of the image repository as well. And now we can go and pass in the image repository is equals to the image repository that we have. So in this way you can create in either way, so that's depend on your preference or your requirement, or the project requirement or your coding standard. So once we have all of this set up, let's go and make this one as the asynchronous call over here. And what we need to do is, we need to again have the try catch block over here, and I need to cast the on the failure over here, that will be of the failure, and I'm going to catch that failure, because this is what we are returning from our repository. So if you go to the, let's go to the repository, and once we catch the error, we are returning the failure object. So that's why we want to cast that particular failure over here. And once we have that, this is going to return the result set over here. So for that, let's go and return from here, return the error from here, and with this error I can pass in the type of the E over here, and we are good with that. And the next thing is that let's go and have the final, and that will be of the response, or let's go and call this one as the result result, which we are going to get it from the okay, so let's make this one as the resview and as a response. And I need to get away from the, let's go and call the image repository dot the generate the image and pass in the body over here. So this will return us the image response, but what we need is the, over here is the image model. If you take a look, we need to return that one over here, and also we need to insert this particular response back to our database, or the Isar database. So for that, what we can do over here is let's go and generate the final entity over here, and that will be of the okay, that would be of the image entity that we have previously created. And then I can just go and set the we don't have to provide ID. The image will be of the equals to the response that we have dot the data. And since this is a list, I guess we need to make this one as the first over here dot the base 64 that we are getting from the, and then the dot we require another one is the date and time over here, and that will be of the response that we have dot the I guess it's not the data, it is the created that dot. Now we can convert this one to the date and time, that is the extension that we have previously created dot, and then we again will convert that one to the date and time string. So this will give us the date and time that we have previously set up. This is also the extension that we previously created, and another one is the timestamp, which is of equals to the result dot the created that we are getting. So this is the response dot the to date and time as well. So now we have the image entity over here, and we can now go and pass this one to the right to DB, and now we can pass in the entity that we want to pass in over here. And now we also need to pass in the type of the object that we are passing in, that will be of the image entity is the object that we are passing in. So this is the, we are calling to this particular function over here. And once we have that, next is that we need to generate the image model over here. So let's go down to the right to the DB first of all, and let's implement this one because we have already implemented on the top function. So let's go and have the try catch block over here, and here we also want to cast the let's go and cast the on the failure over here, and we are going to cast the E over here. And from here we are going to return the, let's go and return the error case, and that error will be of the E over here. And let's try to go and close it over here. And I guess we, okay, so here we are not returning the multiple result set, so we can't do this one. So just go and rethrow the whatever error we are getting back, not the return, it should be of a rethrow the error whatever we are getting back from the repository. So the E is not required, so just go and make it as a underscore, and here we are going to have the final result, which is of equals to the await. So for that I need to make this one as the async over here, and then we are going to call the repository that we have dot the right to the DB over here, and then we'll pass in the value over here. And then finally we are going to return from here the we will return the result from here. And I guess that should be the one that we want to pass in. So this is going to return us the nullable type of the int. If you don't want to make it as the particularly the generic type, you can also directly mention that this is of the image entity. But I guess it should be fine, and we are not focused on all of those. We are just focusing on the ChatGPT, DALL-E, and then we don't want to have much of the time spending on creating reusable components and having some of this stuff over here. So let's just keep it as the simple and whatever we have, and let's go on to the top over here. And now what we need to do is, next thing is that we can generate the image model, because that is what we have to return from this particular generated image over here. So let's go and have that one over here, and that will be of the final image model that we are going to generate, image model over here. And now let's go and have this one created over here. So let's go and add in over here, and let me close it over here, and let's close it over here. And now we can return from here the success, because this is the success, and now I can return the image model from here. And in the image model, I can just go and pass in the base 64. Base 64, I need to decode that one, and the source will be of this particular is the source that I want to decode it. So I want to decode it to base 64, and now the date and time will be of this particular thing. So just copy this content and just pass in over here, and now I can just go and use the gr for the date time lapse. I will just go and use the jiffy dot the parse it over here, and then this particular I want to pass this one over here. I guess it's inside this over here dot to the okay. So we got it to as a string, and then finally we can just say that the from now. So this will actually give us the time format in like a 1 hour ago, or 3 seconds ago, or 1 minute ago. So if you want this kind of the timing format, you can use this one over here. So it's not actually required things. If you don't want to have something like that, you can just return without this one, or create your own logic over here. But what I want to do over in the UI is I want to show something like it was created a 3 minute ago, or just created 1 hour ago, right? So I just want to show that information over there. So that's why I'm using to pass using the jiffy, and to pass it that the current date that we have to, and calculate the time from now. And we are good with this one. And finally we have one more thing over here, which is to listen to the image entity over here. And for this, what I think is we'll go and create the one more function over here, a mapper function. So that will be it will be written type will be of the list of the image model. From here we are going to return, and I'll just say map to let's say map to the image model from, and I guess the image entity image entity. So this quite it's a quite long name, but I guess it makes sense over here. So list of the type is of the image entity over here. We are going to pass that image entity over here, and let's pass in the entity over here, or we can call this one. Okay, so entity is fine. And once we have that, so let's go, and from here we are going to return the entity that we have dot the map. Let's go and map that one. We got the e, and let's go, and from here we will return from here the image model. And let's go and arrange this one properly. First of all, let's try to arrange this one over here, and I guess let's close this one over here. And finally from here we have to return to list over here, since we have to mark this one as the image model list. And from here I just need to grab the base 64 decode and e dot the image that we have. This is of the string, so I need to decode it. And then if it is if it's null, then just give an empty string over here. And e dot the date and time that we have dot to let's go and return as the string, so this is a nullable type. And the time lapse we will just go and let's make use of the jiffy that we have previously used. So jiffy dot the parse over here, and the e dot the timestamp that we currently have. So this is of the nullable type dot the to ISO string over here. We'll convert that one. And also if this is of the nullable type, we'll just provide some default. Let's provide the default date and time over here as well. And then finally what we have to do is we just have to say the from now over here. And if you want, I guess you can just give in the default date and time. So let me say like 2002 slash the 10 and slash something like the 26, or that depend on you. So that's a requirement of your project, so you can define the default value as well over here. But if you don't want, you can just remove and pass in the empty string as well. So now we have this particular map to the model file to from the image entity, or from the database entity we are mapping it to the image model over here. So for that, now let's go back to our stream return type over here, and here we are going to cast that particular on the failure as well. And we don't have the return type over here, so we'll just go and we don't have the multiple return type over here, so just go and rethrow the same error that is we are getting from the repository layer. So let's just mark this one as the underscore, and here let's go and have the final and entities entities that we are going to get it. And then we have the underscore the repository that we have, image repository dot the listen to the image entity that we have. And finally we can just go and map this one, and we get the event over here. And now we will just return that particular events over here. So this is the list of the image entity, and we are going to return that particular event over here. And this will give us the string or the list of the image entity on the string format over here. Now we need to map that one to the image model, because here we want to return the stream of the image model. So how we can do that one is the simple way is to use the model, and then the entities that we have, entities dot the let's go and map this one to the event, and then we'll return from the map to the map map to the model from here, and pass in the event over here. Just copy and paste in the event over here. If it is of the null, then we'll just go and pass in the empty list over there. So now we have the model over here, and this is the list of the stream of the, so this is a stream of the list of the image model. So finally we got what we require over here. So we'll just go and return from here, not the return, we need to yield, since this is of the type is of the string. So I need to make this one as the essence over here with the star. So from here, so I can yield the all of our the stream from here. So we are going to return the model model that we model that we have. So this will fix that all of our those use cases. And here we are getting the stream from the repository or from the Isar DB, and here we again need to convert that stream to the another model that is of the image model. So that's why we have to convert it in this way and return it. So if you have a better logic, you can apply it, but I think this is quite simple to implement over here. And once we have this, I guess we have some error. Let's try to see what is the error over here. So I need to close this one over here, and we are good to go. Another thing is that if you want, what you can also do is for to extract this one to the another like the mapper over here. So this can be quite messy to look into it. The code is maybe dirty, or it's not clear, so you have multiple logic inside over here. So what you can also do is you can extract this particular logic to something different over here. So let's go and have another one. So this one will return us the image model, and this will be of the map to the let's say image model over here. And then let's go and have the map to image model, and let's go on to the top over here, and this is what we require. So just copy this one from here, and what we have is the response of the image response. So we require from here is the image response over here, and that will be of the response itself. And let's go and paste the value over here. We are going to return from retur and return from here the image model. So let me try to arrange this one properly over here, and I guess that should be fine over here, and that should be fine. So let's go on to the top, and now I can just go and say that map to the image model and just pass in the response instead of creating it over here. Now it looks much better and cleaner over here, and in this way you can also extract this one over there. So I guess it's quite long already, and let's keep it simple over here. If you want, you can extract it, and let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And finally we can move on to our presentation layer. So first of all, we'll go to the state, and let's create the new file over here, and that will be of a, let's say, image underscore state file. And let's go, and we will be using phrased over here to generate the data class. So I'll just go and call the class as the image and stat, and I'll use a width over here, and that will be of the image stat over here. And let's go and have the factory constructor over here of the image state over here, and let's add the members over here. So first one is I'll require the bool, and that will be of the each, let's say each loading, so we can have the loading state over here. And next I'll have the string of the nullable type of the or error and message over here. And I can also have the image model, that is what we require, and this can be also of the nullable type of the image model. And then we also require the another one is the list of the image model, and what we require over here is the, let's say, image models. Let's go and say this is of the image models as well. And let's go and return from here is underscore the image image model model as well, and we need to generate this one. So let's go and add the freeze annotation over here, and also we need to add the part file that will be of the image, and then the stat.freeze.dot file, and we need to generate this. So before we can generate, what we need to do is we'll pass in the default value, default value for this one is of the false. So by default the each loading is always false and string is error, so we don't have to provide the default value also for this one. But for this one, what we'll do is let's make this one as the async value, which is from the river pod async value over here. And for this async value, what we need to do is let's go and have the add the default over here, and this will be of the async value dot the async loading over here. So by default, this particular variable is always on the loading state by default. So once we load the list, it will give by default as the loading state. So if you are not familiar with the report, make sure to go check out the documentation about the async values, and then get more familiar about it, because I'm not going to explain about the report stuff over here, just a simple stuff. So by default, this is just giving us the loading state for our image model, and later, if you are not familiar with the report, we'll go and see how we can implement this async value over here. And for set, this is just the if you have already used the future builder or stream builder, this is quite similar to that one. And let's go and generate the code over here. So flutter flutter pub run, and then the build underscore runner over here, and then I'll just go and build -d. So let's generate this particular code over here, and once the code is generated, we are good to go. So let's meet up in the next lecture where we'll be working with the controller. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is, let us go on to our controller and let's create the new file over here, and that will be of the image contro controller dot the dot file. And now we can go and create our class over here, that will be of the image contro image controller over here, and that's going to extend from our AUT auto DISP auto dispose notifier, which is from the report or the Flutter report. And this will take the generic type of the image state that we have, not image service, image sta state that we previously created over here. And once we have that, we need to override the build method over here. And with this build method, what we need to do is we need to return our default state, that will be of the image state, as the default state over here. And once we have this particular file, now we can go and create our implement our function, that will be the return the future and of the void, and this will be of the generate the image over here. And then we'll take in the prompts over here. So first thing is, we'll take the string of the dsc description, dscrip description over here, and this will be of the async. And we are going to require the, first of all, we need to update the state. So state will be of the state that we have dot copy with, and here we'll set the is loading is of the true. So we are going to call the API, so we'll set that the loading state is of true, and then the error message, if any, then we'll just clear it out and set it to the null. And once we have done that, we need to generate the final body that we are going to pass in to the API on the body. So that will be, we need to pass in the prom pt prompt. So that prompt will be of the description that we want. So description is the image description that you want to generate. So you want to generate a car, you want to generate a house, so that's you are going to pass in on the description. And the next parameter will be of the n, and that is of the number of the image that we want to generate. So we just want to generate one image over here. And next is the size over here, SIJ size, and then the size can be of the we want to generate currently a biggest size, so 1024 into the 1024. We can also generate by 512 by 512, but here we'll generate by 1024 over here. This is the biggest size currently supported. and then we will also add in the RESPONSC response format format that you want to get. You want to get either the URL, or you want to get the base64. So b64 I'll pass in, and the JSON. So this is the type that we require, because this is what we have set up to get it in our data over there. And once we have that, now we can just go and final result result, which is of the await, and I can get the ref.the-read, which is from the report, and I need to read the provider. So if you go to the application, and here currently I guess we haven't generated the provider over here. So let's go and generate the provider for this particular class. So this will be of the image service provider. So just make this one as image service provider and import the Flutter report, and this is going to return us this particular image service, and then this is the type of the return type will be of the image, and we need to pass in the image repository over here. So for that, let's go and create the final, and this will be of the image repository as well, and that will be of the ref.the-watch. We are going to watch the image repository provider over here. So that's what we are going to watch it, and finally we are going to return it from here. And now we have the image service provider. So let's go and make use of the image service provider that we have over here, and then I can just go and call the function, the generate the image, and pass in the body over here. So once we have the results, so we can just say return, so result.when, and we get the success and the error. So this is the beautiful of the multiple result set that we are going to use over here. And let's close over here. So first one, we get the success, and once there is a success, we want to update our UI over here. So let's go and remove the I guess we'll not use the arrow function over here, and let's go create the function body, and here we'll go and update the state, which is of equals to the state that we have that copy with. And first of all, we'll set the let's make this one as the each, not the error message. So let's go down, and we'll just set the each image model to be the success, because that is what we are returning as the image model. And also we will set the another value of the each loading to be of the false, because now we have already returned the response. So we want to set that the image loading, the loading status is of the false now. And similarly on the let's copy this one from here, and on the error state, what we want to go over here is just paste this one, and the not the image model, it will be of the error message that we want to set will be from the error that we are getting dot the message. We want to get that particular message over here, and loading is should be of the false. So now we have the one function or the method to generate the image is ready to be used. And next is we want to have the another function that is to get the stream of the message. So for that, let's go and have the let's say a future over here, and this is of the type is of the void. So we just want to have a void over here. It's not returning anything. And let's go to the here, and let's make use of the same function name over there, so that will be much easier to understand. And here I guess we are not going to pass in any params. So let's go and have the final over here, and that will be of the result, and result will be of the ref.the-read. We want to read our image service provider over here, and dot I will get the image stream, not the generated image. It should be of the, I guess is the listen to the image entity over here, or I guess that should be fine. Listen to image entities, that should be fine, I guess. And now this will return us the stream over here. And now what we are going to do over here is let's go and have the result that we have. So result result that we have, that we are going to listen to the stream over here. So this is a string and we are going to listen it over here, and we get the list of the image model. So every time we get the list of the image model, now what we want to do is we want to update our state over here. So let's go and say the state is of equals to the state, and let's update it with the copy width over here, and let's close this one over here. And here what we want to do is each loading, first of all let's make this one as the false, and then the image models that we have, we need to pass in the list of the async data over here, that will be of the event over here. So let's pass in the event. Event is this one, so just copy this one and pass it over here. So this should be good enough for us. And we have some error over here. Let's try to see what is the error over here. So the body might complete with null to return, but the return type is a future. Okay, so we don't have, so let's not make this one as the future over here. It's not returning. So we got the two functions over here. One is of the future to generate the image over here, and then to listen to the image entity change. So whenever we insert a record to the DB, we want to get the data back as the listener over here. So we listen to the stream over here. And finally, once we are done with our methods, let's go to the top. And what we need to do is we need to create the provider for this one. So final, I'll just go, let's create the provider over here. So provider over here. And this will be of the image controller provider. And then what we'll have, this one is not the provider, it will be of the auto dispos, auto dispose notifier provider. So let's have that one, and here we'll require the type will be of the image controller as well as the image state. So image state over here. And now once we have that, what we have to do over here is let's go and remove the ref object over from here. We are not going to require the ref object from here. So let's just go and close this one over here. And here what we need to do is we need to return the new image controller. So if I go over here and I can just provide the image controller dot the new. So this is the constructor error that we get over here. So this will return the image controller for us over here. And now we are good to go. So now our image controller is also ready. So this is the auto dispose notifier provider. So if you are not familiar with the River, it may be difficult to understand, but the auto dispose over here that we are using, auto dispose notifier or the auto dispose notifier provider, this is basically means that it's going to dispose when nobody's listening or watching to this particular controller. That's a good practice because we don't want to hold the whole controller in our memory if there is no requirement for that one. We will dispose it once we finish the once we finish our watch as well as the listening of this particular control. If we are not listening to the any state change, so then there is no requirement to hold this particular object in the memory. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. In the next step, let us go to our UI, and finally we are going to create our UI over here. So for that, let's create the image, and I guess we'll create the image list str in screen over here. And let's go and have the dart file, and let's go and create the if, and then that will be of the stateful over here. So let's create the stateful widget over here and image list screen, and for that let's go and import the material package over here, and I guess that should be fine over here. And now I guess we can convert this one to the consumer widget over here, or else we can also convert this one to the consumer stateful widget over here. So I guess we'll import the Flutter report, and I guess we can convert this one to the consumer stateful widget over here. And let's go on to this particular state over here, and we'll use the init state over here. Let me arrange this one properly over here first of all. So I guess this is should be over here, and in the init state what we are going to check it over here is WID widget binding. So here WID widget binding observer over here, and we get binding dot the I guess we get binding dot we get not the widget builder, so we get bin we get binding over here dot the instance over here dot the add the post add the post frame callback. So on this callback what we want to do is we want to go and call our function from our controller. So ref dot the read, and that will be of the image controller that we have, and then the dot the notifier dot, we'll just go and call the not the generate, it should be of the listen to the image entity. So once we go and call this particular function, what we can do now is let's go back to our build function or the build method over here. Final, I can go and get the images over here, that will be of the ref dot the watch. I need to watch the image controller provider, and I'll just go and select the specific image specific state from here. I'm not interested on the all of the state of this particular controller, but we will be filtering out with the value that we have dot the image model. So this will give us the list of the image model on the async value. So once we have that, we are going to return from here let us return the scarf hold from here, and then the app bar will be of the app bar itself, so we don't want to provide for anything for now. And on the bodies, not in the void, in the bodies, right? So let's go and have the body, and in the body I'll make use of the it should be of the images that we have, images dot the when condition, and we will have the three condition: when we receive the data, when we receive the error, and when we receive the loading. So if you are not familiar with the river pod, and if you are familiar with the future builder and all of those stuff, it's quite similar. So this is what we are using the async value. If you remember, when we created the state, we make use of the async value, so that's why we are getting that one over here. So over here from the let's start with the loading step. So when there is a loading step, we want to go and have this is a function call over here, and this will go and return us the, let's say, const of the in the center, center over here, and we'll have the child will be CIR circular progress indicator on the adaptive, and then we will have the error. This will return us the error as well as the stack trace over here. And once we have this, we are going to return from here center, and with the center I have the child, and in child I'll just go and return the simple text displaying the displaying the e.the2 string. So whatever is in error, we are going to display that one over here. Or else if you want to cast this one as the I guess this is not returning us the multiple results, and otherwise we could check the failure. But for now, if you want to cast this one to the error, it's still possible, but let's just keep it as a simple. And on the data over here, once we receive the data, what we want to do is we want to this will be of the function call over here. So this will be of the data itself, and let's go and create the body for this one. And with this body we want to return from here. So let's return the first of all the padding over here. So on the padding, and then the const of the edge insect, I guess we'll make use of the all, and let's say 16.the for the default value, and you can change that one later on. And over here we'll go and have the child. Over here in the child, let's go and build the list view builder. We'll make use of the list view builder over here, and let's go and have the item builder over here. That's going to take the context and then the index over here, right? So context and then the index, index index as well. And let's have the body over here. And first of all, what I need is the count, right? So item count over here, what we require is from the data that we have dot the length. This will give us the data is now the list of the image model. So now we can extract the length over here. So after that, what we can do is final. So final, and then we can get the image is of equals to the data that we have, and then pass in the index that we get. So now we will get finally our image model over here. So with this image model, we can just return from here a simple card over here, and we can just return something like the shape from here. And in the shape, I will use a round rectangle border over here, and just pass in the bit of the side. So let's say I will pass in the side over here, and that will be of the border side over here. And with this border side, you can just go and pass in the, let's say, a color over here. So in the color, we'll just go in them dot of context, and then the color schema, I guess context dot the color schema dot, I'll use the outline over here. So you can just pass in the different color or some different things that you require over here. And after the color, I can just go and pass in the another option that will be of the border radius. So BORD border radius, I'll use the circular over here and just the edit O for now, and that should be fine. And let's go and have the child over here, and in the child, let's go and return the column. I guess we will return the column over here. Column has the children as well. Let's close this one over here, and I guess we can wrap this one with the one more padding over here, and let's see how it look like later on. And later we'll see if we want to remove that one. So in the child over here, first of all, let's go and have the cross-axis alignment over here, the cross-axis alignment to be of the center, and then the cross-axis alignment, okay, by default is center, and then the main axis alignment, okay, so just not pass in this one. By default is always the center. So in the child, what we are going to return is let's return the first of a date and time. So for that, we'll go and return the row from here. The row has the children over here, and children, let's pass in the icon button over here. Or okay, so let's not pass in the icon button. First of all, what I need is I need to pass in the const of the spaces. So let's push that particular widget to the end of the row over here, and after that I will have a simple text over here. So text over here, and that will be of the image dot the date and time. So we don't have to format this because it's already formatted on our the layer on the business logic layer, which is of the application layer on the image service class. So we don't have to do all of those formatting over here. So first we get the date and time over here, and later we'll add some more, but for now just keep it as the date and time only. And next is we require the image over here. So let's go down and have the image dot from our we require from, I guess it's from the memory, and we need to pass in the unit at list. So that is why we require the from here the image which is of the unit at list as well. So once we have that, and I guess we are good to go. And finally at the end we will also show the text, and that will be of the image dot the time I guess the time lapsed. So this will give us the we have the three options. One is of the row, which will push the space bar and the date and time format, like the day, month, year, and then we will show the image from our memory with the unit list that we are passing, and finally the time lapse, like the 3 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 1 day ago. So we are passing it over here. And let's go and take a look on the error what we have. So let's close it over here, and that should be fine. And let's try to go to our main.dot file over here, and from here we are not going to return now the body this one. So just remove this one from here, and we are going to return the image list, not the image listener, image is the list screen from here. So this is what we are going to return as the default one for now. And let's try to go and hard reload our application, and let's open up our device. And now you can see by default it's always loading over here. And I guess that's all for this lesson, and on the next lecture we will see how we can fix this particular loading state. And until then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here, and let us try to fix this particular loading state over here. And that is basically coming from this particular loading state that we have on the async value over here. So this is the async value of the list of the image model, and if you go to the image state, that has the default of the loading state. That's why we are getting the default loading state over here. And if you go to the controller, I guess we don't require its loading to be false over here, because we are not enabling it, or we are not setting it to the true over here. So we can just remove that one. And if we go to the service over here, and this is the listen to the image entity over here, and I guess everything is fine over here. We don't have issue. So let's go back to the repository over here, and in the repository we are checking for the null, and by default it's always null because there is no record, right? So we always will get a result of the null. So that's why I guess the loading is always there. What we have to do over here is we have to yield the result from here instead of checking the condition. And we will say that if it is of the null, then we are going to return this particular stream of this particular type dot the we will return pass in the value of the empty list over here. So if it is of the null over here, we are going to pass in the empty list of the stream over here. So let's go and hard reload, or let's go and restart the application, and now you can see that we don't get that particular the loading state anymore. So it will be loading at the first, and then it will go, and once we receive this particular value, we will show an empty list over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And the next step is, let us go and create a screen where we can pass in the information to the API. So for that, let's go and create the new file inside of our UI, and let's call this one as the let's say img image image generation I guess image generation scr is screen.the file. And let's create the stateful widget over here. And once we have the stateful widget, let's go and convert this one to the okay. So let's import the material package over here, and after that let's go and change this one to the consumer stateful widget over here. And let's go and import the Flutter report over here. and I guess we are good with that. So let's go down over here, and from here we'll return the let's return from here the scaffold over here, and then we have the app bar, and that will be of the app bar itself. And let's go and add the title over here, and that will be consist of the text. Let's go and have the body over here. Let's have the body over here, and in the body I guess we will add in the single SINGL single child scroll view over here. Let's go and add this one over here, and let's have the child over here, and in the child we will add the column over here, and this column let's go and have the children over here. And once we have that, let's go on to the first on the top over here. We'll require some members field over here. So final, I'll require the one text editing controller. So text editing controller, and that will be of the, let's say, a controller which is of equals to the text editing controller itself over here. And also we will require the final variable of the we will require the form. So for that, let's create the global key over here, and that will be of the type will be of the form state. So form form state over here, and this will be of the underscore form form key itself, and which is of equal to the global global key itself over here. And I guess that should be fine. And let's also make this one as the private variable, and let's go down, and later we'll also require the overlay entry over here to show the some overlay UI over here, and that will be of the overlay entry itself. And let's go and have the dispose over here. And with this dispose, what we are going to do is, before we call the super dot the dispose, we want to dispose the controller dot the dispose. So let's go and dispose the controller, or if you want, you can also have the init state over here. And once the state is initialized, what you can also do is, let's go and you can also go and set it up over here like the text editing controller. So you can make this one as the lat, so lat over here, and then just copy this section from here and paste it over here. And you can just remove this one from here, and as well as you can also make this one as the lat over here. And let's go and have this one extract from here, and just copy it, and let's go and set it up over here, and let's clear out this one from here, and we are good with that. So let's go to our column over here, and in the column let's go and add the required information. So first of all, let's go and add the, let's go down over here, and what we will do over here is, let's go and set the form first of all. So for that, for and form, and form has the, we need to provide the key over here, that will be of the underscore the form key over here. And in the child, let's go and just add a simple text form field over here. Let's go and add that one, and we can have the, first of all, we'll set up the controller for this one, that will be of the underscore the controller over here. Let me try to arrange this one properly over here, and we will make this one as the multi-line text. So let's go and add the minimum line over here, so that will be of the 3, and then the let's say a maximum lines over here, that will be of something like a 5. And let's go and have the decoration as well. So for that, the input input decoration, and let's go and add the hint over here, hint text over here, and that will be of the, let's say, enter your image dsc rip description over here. And once we have this, let's go and add in the like the borders. Let's create some outline input border. And once we have that, let's go and have the border radius over here, and then the border border radius dot the, let's have the circular of the edge over here, or the edge pixel over here. So I guess that should be fine. And let's go down over here, and let's also add the it should be of the validation or validator, VALID. Okay, I can't find that, so it may be outside of this. So text, okay, it should be of the text form field, not the text field. So let's go and add the validator over here, and in the validator we get the value over here. So we'll just check for the condition. So if, and then the value that we have is of equals to the null, or let's also check for the condition, and then the value is of equals to the empty string over here. And then we are going to return from here the image, or we'll just say image dsc rip description each, or let's say each empty. So let's have this close over here. Otherwise we'll just go and from here let's return the null or something from here. So I guess we have created the I guess we'll go and, okay, I guess that should be fine over here. And let's go and take a look. So what we have done is we have already created the form, and then this form has the text form field over here. And let's go and close this one over here. And now what we can do over here is let's go and create the one button. So for that, let's go on to the form. After form, let's go and create the section pixel, and after that let's go and kill the call the fill the field button over here. And let's try to erase this one. So we have the unpressed, this is a function call. And on the child, let's go and have the some text over here. And for the text, let's say let's make this one as a const over here, and let's have the text itself. That will be, let's say a generate the image over here, and that will be of the AI image. And then we have this fill button, some error over here. Okay, so we need to close it over here. And on the press, what we need to do is let's go and create the one function below here, and that will be of the, let's go and create the void, and let's say generate the let's say a generate image over here. And let's go and call the final, and each let's go and validate our form. So form key that we have, form key.dcu, our current state that we have, and we need to check. Then we will just go and, if it's not null, then we'll go and validate the form. So if the form is valid now, so if the form is, so it's valid. So if it's valid is not equals to the null, so which means that, and also it should be of the each valid. So if it's not null, and if the form is of the valid, then we can go and call the our ref.the_read over here, and that will be of the image. I guess we have the image controller, image image controller provider, right? So this is the one that we require over here. Dot the notifier, and then we are going to call the generate the image, and then the description. So it will be of the controller dot the text from here, and we are going to pass in over here. So we are good with that, and now we can call this one from here. Let's go and call the underscore the generate the AI image from here. So that should be good enough. So once we are validating the form, and then we are going to call the API over here. And let's go on to the top over here. So we have this particular So let's remove this one from here and then the here. So that should be I guess good enough. And then we have the overlay. So overlay is that we need to show the loading state when there is a loading. So whenever we enable, if you go to the controller, so whenever we call the generate image, we have, let's go over here, this is enabling the loading state. So what we have to do is, once we have this loading state, we need to show the overlay entry. So we'll use the mixin over here with the OVE overlay. It should be of the LOA, the loading overlay. So this loading overlay is coming from the command and then the mixin, and there is a mixin of the loading overlay. So this is the one. So if you don't have this, make sure you create it, or you can copy it from the source code over here. And I think I did not create a lecture on how to create this one, so make sure you have this one. You can either create it yourself or you can get it from the source code. So let's close this one, and once we have this particular loading overlay or the mixin, so let's go on to the bottom over here, and we'll create the one more function, and that will be of the void. Let's have the listener, so listener listener, and this listener, we are going to listen to the state change over here. So we'll use the river pod over here, and then the listen, and then the provider is the image controller provider itself. And here we are going to select the specific one. So select the value will be of the value dot each loading. So we are only going to check for the each loading over here, and I guess that should be fine. So let's try to break this one over here, and let's try to have this, and let's close it over here. So if the next that we have, right, so this next is the each loading over here. It is a bool over here. So if we have the next is of the true, which means that it is of the loading state, then we are going to call the overlay entry, which is of equals to the, so the I guess it should be of the SHO, so loading overlay, and pass in the context as well as the overlay entry that is of our overlay entry over here. So let's close this one, and otherwise we are going to close the overlay. So let's go and remove the underscore the overlay entry that we have, and if it's not null, then remove it. And also what we are going to do is, if it is of, after we remove it, we need to dispose it as well. So I guess that should be fine. And this listener, what we have to do is, let's go on to the top, and we need to call that listener from the build method. So let's say we are going to call the listener from here. It cannot be called from outside. Make sure you call it from the build function itself. And the next thing is that once we have generated the image, we also want to show it over here, right? So for that, let's go to the UI over here, and let's create the new folder over here. So let's go and create the new folder that will be of the widget over here, and let's go and create the new file over here, and that file will be of the image, let's say wid widget over here dot file, or you can also create it over here, but it will be much cleaner to extract it to a separate widget over here. And let's go and create the stateless widget over here. Sorry, not the stream builder, fsts, and stateless over here. And let's import the material package over here. So just go and import the material package, and I'll convert this one to the consumer widget, which is from the riverpod. So let's go and import that one from Flutter riverpod over here, and let's go down over here, and from the return, what we want to return from here is, let's go and okay, so first of all we need to check if we have the image or not. So final, I'll go and say image model, and this is the model that we are going to return from the API. So ref.the let's go and watch this one over here. The provider will be of the image controller provider that we have. that we are going to select a specific value over here. So we don't want to rebuild our widget every time the state change. So that will be of the image model that we have, and I guess that should be the one. So let's go and have this one, close it over here, and that should be fine. So let's go and also arrange it properly over here, and I guess that should be fine. So once we have that, let's go and check for the condition. So it can be of the null, so we'll check for the image model is not equals to null. So if the image model is not equals to null, then we are going to just go and return from here the image dot the from memory, and then the image model that we have, that we have the image itself. And once we are done with that, we are going to say that on the else part, we'll just go and return the const of the size size box dot the string over here. So which means that if we don't have the if the image model is of empty, we are going to say that just return a empty size box, otherwise just go and return. So we have some error over here, and let's go and check. So might be completed because the normal to be returned over here. So we have the okay, so let's go and fix this error over here, and that's because we haven't provided the ret return statement over here, and we are good with that. So let's go over here and let's pass in that image view over here, or the image widget. So imag image widget over here, and that should be fine. So let's make this one as the const over here, and also let's add the size box over here. So const of the size box, and then we'll have the height over here. Let's give us 16.0 over here, and let's close it over here. This will be of the const, and we are good with that. So let's also wrap this one. I guess we can wrap this one with the padding over here, and I guess it should be fine. So I guess, or you can just increase it or decrease it. So maybe you can just set something like a 16, and I guess that should be fine. So let's go and try to run our application. And for that, what we need to do is, in order to go over here, we need to create a button on this particular main screen. So for that, I guess we will use the button navigate. So let's use okay, so let's use the floating action button, I guess. Floating action button, and here you will just create the FLOA, floating action button over here, and let's go and have the create the unpress over here. Let's go and create the function over here, and here we want to navigate. So how we can navigate is let's use the material. Let's use the navigator. So we are not using any third-party package for the navigation. So let's go and call the NAVI navigator over here, NAVI GATOR navigator dot the, we'll go and push the route over here, context, and also we require the material route over here. So for that, let's say a material page route, and on the builder we are not going to use that one. So let's pass in the underscore, and here we are going to return from here the image generation screen over here. So let's close it over here, and this can be of the const over here, and let's just go and close this one over here. So I guess that should be the one that we require over here. Okay, so let's move this one to the up over here, and I guess that should be fine over here. And once we have this, we are good to go. So I guess we will remove this, let's add in the extended, or let's say this is of the, okay, so we can make this one as extended, and we can also add in the let's go and add the label over here. Label will be of the const of the text over here, and let's say this is of the image over here, or you can just give a text sum, and I can also add the icon over here, and icon will be of the const that will be of the icon itself, and then the ISU icons dot, let's say something like a add a photo or something over here. So let's I guess that should be fine, and let's try to reload the application, and let's go back to our device over here. And now you can see that we have this particular nice looking button over here, which is coming from the material 3 theme that we have previously created. So once we click on this one, we are over here, and now let's try to generate the image over here. So let's try to say that the super car in RANNY rainy day. So supercar in RAINNY rainy day over here, and let's try to generate that particular image. Now I guess we got some error over here. Let's try to see what is the error. And now you can see that the error was that API key was incorrect. So we are not seeing that particular error message. I guess the error handling for our use case is not correct, so we need to fix that. So later we'll try to fix that, but for now what we will do is let's go over here, and in the env file make sure you have added the correct API key to fix this particular error. So let's go, and once you update the env file, what you have to do is you have to run the Flutter, and then the pub run the build build runner dash build runner dot build dash d. So dash d is delete the previous file and regenerate it. So let's try to, okay, so we can't have that. Okay, so the spelling is not correct. So Flutter, it should be of the pub run. Okay, so Flutter pub run build runner build dash d over here. And let's go back to our device over here, and let's try to have the supercar in let's say in a HIGHWAY highway, and try to generate this one, and we still got some error, and still the API key is incorrect over here. What we have to do is let's try to regenerate that. So let me try to, let's say a build runner. I can still clean over here, and sometimes it may be the catch issue over here once you change the API key over here. So I guess you will not get this particular error message, but in case you get this error message after you update the API key, you can follow this particular troubleshooting steps over here. And now you can see that we are finally able to generate this particular image, which is a supercar in a rainy day. So you can see it's quite realistic over here, and it's quite natural that it can create the quite cool image for you. And also make sure to check out the body prompts, and then the spelling over here. My spelling over here was also incorrect, so that's why I was also getting some error based on the response format that I provided. And once you have done that one, so let's go back to our device, and let's go over here, and once you try to reload the application over here, we should be able to get that particular image once we are getting that. So it should able to save that over here, and it's currently not able to save that image over here, and we will be fixing that in our coming up lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let's continue with our lesson over here. So let's try to see how we can fix the current the DB issue, which is of once we generate the image, it's not able to save it to our local DB. So for that, let's go to the image service over here, and once we generate the image, we want to write it to the DB over here. And let's open up our repository over here, and let's go and take a look over here as well. So write to the DB, and we are actually going to write it over here, and we are going to return the ID from here as well. So let's go and take a look on, let me close this one, and let's go to the image service over here. And what we'll do is we'll just go and final ID over here, and which we are going to get it from this particular the right to DB return type. And let's try to go and the PUG debug print over here, and we'll try to print that particular ID over here as well, id.d to string over here. And let's close it over here. So this is just for the debug, later we'll remove it. And let's try to put a breakpoint as well over here, and let's try to reload the application. And let's go back over here, and let's try to generate some image over here. Let's try to generate that particular image, and let's try to see how it look like over here. And now you can see that we got the breakpoint trigger over here, and then the ID is actually of the null over here. So you can see that we are sending this particular body, and then we have the error over here, which is of ID is of the null. So for that, I guess the repository layer is the issue over here, and we should be writing over here. And let's try to see if we are able to generate it over here. And also let's try to put the breakpoint on the error over there, and let's try to run this one. And if you take a look over here, you got a beautiful looking house generated for you. And this is completely generated through the AI over here, and it's quite realistic over here. So reload the application, I guess. And let's try to go back to device, and let's try to have the same. So let's see a BRICK brick house in mountain over here, and let's try to generate it. And let us try to see over here the Isar instance over here. And if you take a look, it's a null over here. So this is the issue for us. And if you take a look on to the top over here, we are getting it from the Isar provider. So currently you can see all of it is the null, which is not a good thing for us. So let's open up this one, and let's check the code over here. So Isar instance.net each empty. So it is the error. So it's not empty. So if it should be, if it is not empty, then we are going to return the instance over here. So that should be the one that we are looking for. And let's try to run this one over here. We are still getting the null over here. And let's try to remove this one for now. And if you take a look on the image generated, we have a beautiful looking image generated over here. So let's try to reload the application, and let's try to generate the new one over here. And we'll just say SUPER supercar in HIGH highway over here. So let's try to generate this particular image over here. And now if you take a look over here, it should not be of the null. So now we can see we got the instance of the Isar over here. And let's try to run the application over here. And now let's take a look on the supercar that we have on the highway. And if you go back over here, now you should see that particular image on our list view over here. And we can see that we have a few seconds ago, which was the date and time that we have. And this is the date and time it was generated over here. And it is also the reactive, which means that once we add the new image over here, it will automatically populate over here because we are using the stream over here. So if we go on to the repository over here, and this is returning us the stream over here, that's why we are able to update the UI immediately once we generate the new image. So if you go and add the, you can also clear this image once we navigate back. Let's just keep it for now, and let's say HOU house, or we can just say BRICK brick house COVERED covered in a SNOW snow over here. So let's try to generate this one over here. And here you can see that the house has been generated. And if you go back, you could see that particular image over here immediately without refreshing this particular list over here. So the few things that you can improve over here is once you navigate to this particular page, it should be the empty screen or the empty image over here. That is the one thing. And once you regenerate, so if you have already entered the text, and if you have the if you want to regenerate the new image as soon as possible. So what you have to do is once you click on this particular button, you have to remove this image as well and show the loading state. Currently it's not showing, so that is the another fix that you can apply. So I'll give you as the homework, or later on you can check on the source code if you don't know how to fix that. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So next step, what we want to do over here is, once we click on this particular image over here, we want to go to our next script where it can be where we can apply a pinch to zoom, so we can create a zoomable image widget over here. So for that, let's go to the widget and let's create the new file, and let's call this one as the pinch to underscore zoom, zoom, right, dot the dot file. And let's create this particular file over here. That will be of the let's create a stateful over here, and let's import the material Flutter material package. So for that, let's go on to the down over here, and let's go and return from here. I'll return a stack over here, stack stack over here, and stack has the children over here. And with this children, I'll just first of all return the center over here, and center has the child, and because I want to place the image in the center, so I'll be using INTR interactive viewer over here to generate the pinch to zoom over here. And with this, we can provide some of the prompts or the properties over here. So few of the properties will be the clip behavior. So the clip behavior, that I will provide it as the none over here, and also I will provide the min scale, and then that will be of the minimum. I want to have a scale of the 1, and the max scale I want to go up to 4, which means that the it can be zoomed till the 4 maximum to the 4 of the current size, so the current size into the 4. And then we'll wrap this one with the aspect ratio over here, and we'll provide the aspect ratio for our current image over here, and that will be of the let's say you can either provide the 16 divided by the 9, right, or we can just use something similar. Let's use a 1 for now, and let's see how it look like. If it doesn't look good, you can change the aspect ratio over here. And then we'll provide the child, that will be of the image, and I'll use the memory since we need to use the base 64 format, and that will be of the, let's remove this one. We'll go and grab this one as the final, and I'll just get the image over here. That would be of the unit at list over here, right? So let's grab that one, and that will be of the image itself over here. Sorry, it should be image image over here, and let's make this one as the required field over here, this dot the image over here. And let's go down over here, and now we can pass in the widget, not the width. It should be of the WID widget that we have dot the image over here. And the next is, we'll go and create, let's go and arrange this one properly over here. I guess this should be fine over here. And let's go and create the one more over here. That will be of the, we will require the row. So let's go and create the row over here, and then row has the children over here. And also let's wrap this row with the padding over here. So let's go and wrap this one with the padding. And the padding, let's give this one something like the let's go and have the padding like the 32 from the top. And then once we have that, let's go on over here, and let's go and create some, let's create the icon button. So basically we want to create the icon button to navigate back from here. So let's go, and because we haven't added the scaffold over here, That's why we need to create the back button so we can navigate back over here. An icon, let's go and have the icon. So let's say icon, or let's use a back button icon over here. So I guess this is the one that we require. And if you go and take a look over here, and it has the platform specific over here. So I'll just go and copy this one. So since we are just targeting on the mobile device, just copy this one from here, and let's copy this one, and let's go and create the new function over here, and let's go down over here, and it will return us the icon over here, and let's say just a back icon over here, and that will be of this one. So let's go and paste the switch case over here. Let's try to arrange it over here. So if the platform is of the Android and the iOS, we need to return a different one. So from here we'll wrap this one with the widget over here. Okay, so we can't find that, so let's go and have here a return. Let's return the let's go and return from here the const of the icon itself, and with this icon we are going to return this particular icon over here. Just copy this and paste it over here, and also I'll go and change the color over here. The color will be auxiliary colors dot the white over here, and now we can close it over here and just remove this one from here. And now let's copy this, and for our Mac OS we are going to return Mac OS, and the iOS we are going to return a different kind of the arrow back iOS over here. Just remove this one. Let's try to arrange this one properly. So I guess that should be fine, and we have this back button icon now, and we can just go on to the top over here. Instead of returning this one, we can just go and return the back icon from here, and we are good to go. So now you can also add the code over here. That will be of the navi navigator dot the pop from the current route. So we are good with that. And also if you want, you can add some buttons, some more buttons over here, since this is a row, and we'll go and add the another button over here, or the icon. That will be of the icon, and let's say the icons dot the, let's say favorite over here, FAV, and that should be fine. And let's also change the color for this one over here. So the color and the colors colors dot the white itself over here, and let's make this one as the const over here, and we are good to go. So now what we need to do is, once we click on this particular list image, we want to navigate there to that particular screen. So let's go on to the top over here, and this is the card. So let's wrap this one with the widget over here, and this will be of the gesture, I guess it should be of a gesture detector over here. And what we'll do is we'll use the on tab over here. Once we tap on that, let's navigate navigator and GATOR navigator dot push to the particular route over here, and the switch of the context, and then the route over here. So let's try to arrange this one properly first of all, and route will be of the material page route, and we don't require the builder over here. So let's provide the underscore over here, and that's going to return us our pinch to zoom. All right, so this is the one that we require, and the image is of the image. So this is the one that we require, and just pass in dot the image over here. So I guess that should be fine, and let's try to reload the application, and let's go back to our device. And if you go over here, now you can see we have the zoomable image. So I guess I can use the, no, you can see now we can zoom this particular image over here. That's cool, right? And we can just go and click on back button, and we are back over here. Click on this one, we got a image, and now you can zoom this particular image over here. That's cool. So that's cool. And what we need to do now is let's go and fix that a bit over here, and let's push this one, the cons, to the spacer over here, and let's push that one to the end over here. So just try to hot reload. Let's go back over here, and if you go over here, and now we have that one over here, and that's, I guess, pretty cool over here. And we were able to add the pinch to zoom over here. And let's meet up in the next lecture where we will add some more stuff. So we also want to make this one as the zoomable image, so the user can actually zoom this particular image. Let's continue with our lesson on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, let us also create the zoomable image for this particular list view image over here. For that, let's go to our widget over here, and let's create the new file over here, and let's call this one as the zoomable zoomable image wid widget over here dot file. And let's create the stateful over here, stateful over here, and let's import the material package over here. Let's import the material package over here, and let's remove this underscore from here. And once we have done that, we are good with it. And let's go on to the down over here, and from here what we want to do is let's go down over here, I guess over here, and let's create a function that will return us the widget over here. And let's call this one, say, build image over here, and let's have this one. And from here we are going to return let's go on to the over here, and we are going to return this one from here. So interactive viewer, just copy that, and let's go and return that one from here. So just return it. It should be of the RTOR and return, right? So let's go and arrange this one properly over here, and let's try to go and close it over here, and it should be fine. And I guess this is what we require over here. And let's go on to the here, and what we need to pass in is the image data. So how we are going to pass in that is, let's go on to the top, and let's say a final that will be of the unit 8 list that we have, and that will be of the image itself. And let's make this one as the required field. So required this dot the image over here, and we are good to go. So now we got that particular image over here. And once we have that, let's go and return this one from the build the image we get from here. So that should be good enough. And what we need to do is let's go on to the list view over here, and instead of returning this one from here, we need to return that particular zoomable. So zoomable image we get over here, and pass in the image. So image will be of this one over here, and just copy and paste it over here. And let's try to reload, and let's try to see how it look like in our device over here. So let's open up the device, and you can see that it still looks fine. And if you try to zoom in, so it's not able to zoom in over here. And I guess we have some issue on this particular, so you can still zoom in over here, but it doesn't look good. So you can see it's still zoomable, but it doesn't look good over here. So what we need to do is once we zoom in over here, and we want to hide all of this, or we want to overlay on top of this one, so we can use the overlay for that one. So let's go back over here, and I guess we'll create the function below here. So let's create the one function that will be of the void, and let's say overlay, right? So overlay overlay, which will be of the image widget that we'll have. And here let's go and have the final, and first of all we require the, let's say, size, and that will be of the media query over here, and we'll use a media query dot the size of the content. So this will give us the size of the current the nearest ancestor we get over here. So return the size of the nearest media query ancestor. And once we got this one, what we are going to say is okay, so we also need to create the on the top over here. Let's go and create the one more widget over here. So I'll just say a lit, and that will be of the overlay overlay entry. So we require the overlay entry, but instead of the lit, this can be of the nullable. So let's say entry entry over here, or let's make this one as the underscore over here. Let's make this one as the private over here, and that should be fine. Let's go down over here, and here what we need to do is underscore over this will be of the entry, which is of equals to the overlay entry over here, and we need a builder over here. So let's go and build that one over here, and it requires the context over here, and then the context, and let's have the body over here. Let's close it over here, and let's close it over here as well. So from here what we need to do is we can return, so let's return a position widget over here, and then in the child we will provide our we need to provide this one. So one in the overlay we want to show that particular build image, the widget over here. And with this, what we can also do is in the position, what we have to do is we can set the width. First of all, width will be the size that we have over here, size dot the width. So let's say the size dot the width, and on top of that, in the position we can also set the top, left, and all of those. And this position widget, you can see that create a widget that controls where the child of the stack is positioned. So what we will do over here is let's go and set the we want to set the top. First of all, top will be of the okay, so what we need to do is we need to get the render box as well. So final rend render box over here, which is of equals to the, we need to get it from the context dot the find the render object, and this will be of the as the render box over here. So once we have this render box, what we can do is we can use the render box dot the local to global, and here we can find the offset. So let's say we'll set the offset to the 0, which is of the top, right? And then we'll just say this is of the dx over here in the x-axis, as well as the y-axis will be of the okay, so it should be, I guess, not the x, this should be, I guess, the y. Top should be, I guess, the y. And let's say let's go on to the over here, and we also require the let's say a left, I guess. So just copy this one from here, top and the left. So this will be of the left should be a dx, I guess that should be the one that will. So both the top and the left we are going to set it to the offset of the 0 over here, and I guess this should be the one. And let's go down over here, and after we have set up the entry or the overlay entry, so final we'll just say overlay overlay, which is we are going to create the overlay, and I guess lay overlay dot of the current context. And once we have that, we are going to insert that one, overlay dot the insert over here, not the init state, overlay dot ins insert over here. Let's insert the underscore entry over here. So I guess that should be the one. And here, if okay, it can't be of the null, so let's say make this one as the okay, so we'll just check condition. It will be better to check that particular condition. So if the overlay, sorry, if the underscore entry is of the not equals to null, right? So we are going to go and add that one over here. So let's go and add it over here. Let's try to add it over here. So we want to check, I think we can remove that. Okay, so we can't remove. So we'll check for the entry first of all and make sure that we don't crash our application. If not, no, then only we are going to insert it to the overlay entry over here. So now we have the show overlay entry, and this one should be, we need to show it somewhere, right? So for that, let's go on to the top over here in the interactive viewer. What we can do is here, what we will do is on interaction start, and on there is on interaction start as well as the on interaction end over here. So you can see on interaction end, you can use that one, or you can also use the on interaction update. So if you want to do something, so here you can just check for the condition first of all. If the detail that we have, if the detail that we have over here, so DETAIL details, and then the point count, so we can check for the how many finger that the user have actually pointed to that interactive view. If it is less than the 2, that we can just return from here. So we'll just return and we'll not do anything. But in case if it is greater or more than the 2, or the 2 or the more, then what we can do is we'll go and show our underscore, show our overlay over here. And let's try to hard reload our application, and let's try to see if we are able to achieve something over here. So let's try to have, okay, so let's try to, okay, so now you can see we have those images, but it is not hiding at the behind. You can see that it went behind that one, right? So that's not the good thing that we have over here. So we need to fix that over here. And another thing is, let's go and create the, first of all, the remover to remove the overlay. So we can't just keep it over there, and that will be of the remove, remove the overlay over here, and we are going to remove the overlay. So we'll go and check for the condition. If the underscore, the entry that we have is not equals to the no, then we can go and safely remove the underscore entry that we have, and we'll call the remove over here, and also we will call the underscore entry that we have, and then we'll just go and dot the dispose, or not the string dis dispose over here. And how we are going to call this one is, let's go on to the top, and we need to add something over here that will be of the animation. So when the animation ends, and then we want to remove the entry. So over here, let's go and create the let variable that will be of the transformation controller over here, and let's make this one as the underscore transformation controller. And let, we will require another one is the animation controller, animation controller. So animation controller, and that will be of the animation controller itself. And let's go and have the init state over here, and after we have initialized the we call the super.init state, let's go and initialize the underscore the transformation controller that will be of the transformation controller itself. And also we need to have the animation controller, which is of equals to the animation controller that we have over here. And the vsync, for that we need to go and use the width over here, and let's use the mixing single ticker provider state mixing, and this will be of the vsync of the this as well. And let's close it over here, and let's try to arrange this one over here, and let's go and also add the over here the duration over here, and duration will be the const of the duration. Let's add in the duration, let's set the millisecond over here around the half a second over here, which is of the 500. And once we have done this one, what we can do over here is we can add the listener over here, and with this listener, let's go and set up the underscore the transformation controller dot the value. So based on that, we will add some animation over here. Value is of equal this requires the matrix 4, so this is not the matrix 4, so we have to go and create the animation over here, animation, and that will be of the type will be of mat matrix, matrix x matrix 4 over here, right? And then we'll have, just say this is of the animation itself. So once we have that, let's go over here. So we'll just see our underscore the animation that we have over here, and I guess we are good with that. So we have the animation over here. So let's make this one as the nullable type, and we will check it over here, the nullable type as well over here. And once we have this one, let's go and also add the another one that will be of the add the status change listener. So whenever the animation status change, we are going to do something. So for that, I'll just go and check the condition over here. The status that we have will be of equals to the animation status. So animation status dot completed. So if the animation has been completed, then we are going to call the underscore the remove the overlay. So once the animation ended, or once the pin zoom has been finished, we want to remove that particular overlay over here. And then once we have that, let's also go and dispose it. So let's go and override the dispose function. And before we call the dispose function, what we have to do is the transformation controller dot the dispose over here. And also what we have to do is we have to dispose the animation controller over here. We have to dispose it as well. And once we have done that, let's go on to the down over here, and let's create the animation over here. So let's go down and then the void, and let's go and have the let's say the something like the an underscore ani animation over here. And here we'll just go and set the underscore the animation that we have. We will use the matrix matrix 4 twin over here. So matrix 4 twin over here, and we'll just start begin, right? So first we have to begin, and begin is the transformation controller dot the value. So this will give us the beginning over here, matrix 4 get value. And then we have the end. So end will be of the, let's go and end it on the matrix 4 dot the identity. So this is the default value that provides for us. And once we have done that, let's go and call let's do the animation over here. So matrix 4 twin and dot the animate over here, and then we need to provide the parent. So for that, let's do the curv curve animation over here, and let's have the parent and then the curve over here. So the parent will be of the animation controller that we have, and the curve we can use the curve that is in or is out. So let's make use of the is in over here. So once we have this, let's go at the bottom over here, and then we can use the animation controller that we have. Then we'll just say forward to from the particularly the 0. This will go and animate our animation controller. So once we have this one over here, it is not used. So let's go on to the over here, which is of the interactive viewer over here. So what we can do is on the interaction end, we'll just go and call the our function, which is of the I guess what was the function that we just created. It is of the animation, or let's say this is of the remove remove the animation over here. Just call this one and paste it over here. And once the interactive ends, we are going to remove the animation, and here we can provide the transformation controller, which is of our transformation controller over here. Let's go and see what is the error that we have over here. So I guess there is some error we need to fix. So let's see. Okay, so here I guess we need to close it, and I guess that should be the one that we currently require over here. Let's try to test it out. And for that, let's go to our device over here, and let's try to pinch to zoom over here. Okay, so now you can see it's look better. And now once you remove that, it will be back to your original position over here. Okay, so now I guess we have some error over here. Let's try to hot reload. It's quite difficult actually on this stimulator over here. And if you come back to the remove overlay, we forgot to add one more over here. That will be of the underscore entry, which is of equals to the null. So we need to set it to the null over here. And let's try to reload our application, and let's go back over here, and let's try to zoom in over here again. So in the stimulator it's quite difficult, but now you can see we are able to zoom that, and once we leave the zoom, it's go back to the its original place over here. So what we can do is we can try to zoom in. So it's quite difficult over here, but let's try to do it one more time. And okay, so it's quite difficult. Okay, so you can try it on your actual device, then it will be much more better. But I guess you got the point. And let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, we will add a one button over here to set this particular image to the gallery. So for that, what we'll do over here is I have already included the one of the dependency, that is of the image gallery saver. And with this particular library or the package, we will be able to save the image to our local gallery over here. So we'll open up our image list screen over here, and let's go on to the bottom over here, and let's add the one, let's create the function or the method. So let's say save to GALLERY gallery over here, and here we'll provide the image data. So unit at list over here, that will be of the image, let's say BYTS bytes. And let's go inside here, and what we need to do now is let's go and say a final result, and we require this one as the asynchronous await over here, await, and that will be of the async over here. And let's go and call the image gallery saver over here, and it has the save function or the save image over here, and will provide the image byte that we pass in over here. So I guess that should be the one over here, and we'll check for the condition if the result that we are returning, and it returns us the map. So we'll check for the let's check each SUCCE is success. So it should be SUCC success. So if its success is true, which means that if it is of the, let's say it is of the true, and then let's try to go and create the snack bar, and so that okay, so the save was successful. So for that, let's save and go and show the, let's say show message order, so as NSAK snack bar over here, and let's pass in the message over here. So that will be string and then the message over here, and we'll go and use the scaffold messenger over here dot the of context, and then we'll just go and not here dot the show the snack bar over here, and let's go and create the snack bar over here itself. So content will be of the simple text over here. We are not doing any complicated things, so just go and show the message over here, and that should be fine. So just close it over here, and now we can return it from here. So if it is success, we are just going to show the okay, so show the snack bar, and this is not the yo, so it's save to, so not the save yo gallery. That's funny name, right? So we have this snack bar, and just close it over here, and this snack bar requires the string. So the message, okay, so message we need to pass in. I am getting confused over here. So let's say image as save the save to gallery gallery successfully successfully over here. And in the else part, so if it is this, that is not true, so this is going to return the, actually it's the dynamic, but it's actually returning the map over here. and we are going to copy this, and we'll give some error message to the user. So let's say something went wrong. So let's say something when WR is wrong, and then let's say please try age again over here, AGAIN again over here. So I guess that should be fine. And this function, we are going to call it from our, let's go on to the top over here. We have the card, and in the card we have this particular row, and then we have the date and time. So in the front, I guess we'll add the one button. So let's say icon button over here, and let's go and add the function call. So the function call will be to the underscore save to the gallery over here, and we need to provide the image dot the image as well. So it should be of the image dot the image over here, and that should be fine. And let's go down, and in the icon we need to add the icon. So let's say icon, and we'll say the icons icons that we have, icons icons dot the, let's say download over here, and that should be fine. And now we can close it over here, and let's make this one as the const over here. So let's try to run the application, and let's go back over here, and we should get an error because we haven't set up the permission over here. So let's try to download this one, and we got the error. So save to gallery, and then we missing plugin exception. So for that, what we have to do is let's try to reload the application, and let's open up our iOS over here, and let's open up the runner, and let's open up this particular info that the pill list over here, and we need to provide the image description, that why we are requiring that particular permission over here. So let's add in some information to access the gallery over here. And here I have added that particular permission, NS photo library add users description over here. You can get that from this particular image gallery documentation. So make sure to go and check out the documentation for the image gallery saver, and you need to add that over here. And we'll set the need a photo library permission over here to set the image to a gallery or in a gallery. So let's add that one over here. And once we change the native code, what we have to do is we have to rebuild our whole application. So let's try to rebuild the application over here. And now once the application is restarted, so let's try to download this particular image. So it will ask you to give the permission. So just keep the permission, and now you can see the image is saved successfully to the gallery. That's cool. So now it's pretty cool. So now we can also download the image or save the image that we have generated. And that's all for this lesson. So we will meet with the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.